220K in September, 300K in October. Then it was in November, it was 340K or something, like 400K in December. Then went to 700K in January, really unlocked Germany there. In the last 3 months of the year, we made 1.1 million. And I remember we set this goal of 2 million that we wanted to do it the whole year.
And he thought, man, let's just maybe do this together, right? We work together, we make a store together, we make a good store.
And then we thought, let's not do it for anyone else, but for us. And dial everything in, reduce the ad spend, more returning customers, we're really profitable, and now the profits are insane. We did 29K in 2023, 1.9 million in 2024. This year we're gonna do like 10 million. Think bigger and execute.
All right, so where do we come from?
Man, we come from a long way, all the way from the Netherlands, Almere. We've been brothers for 22 years already.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So I remember when we were younger, because our parents are not from the Netherlands. They're from. My dad's from Tanzania. Your dad too.
Exactly.
Mom is from Poland. So always when we were growing up, we didn't really get the traditional Dutch upbringing.
No, true.
Always when I was, going to my friend's house, they were Dutch. You see the Dutch traditions that I just
never even heard of.
No, exactly. Like when there's like a holiday, like a birthday from someone, they all sit like in a circle.
Stuff like that, yeah, exactly. And we never.
All you get is you don't expect to get food when you go play with someone. Most you can expect is a cookie. Man, I remember I went to play with someone when I was like 7, and it was dinner time, and he said, "Hey man, I have to eat." And then I said, "Okay, nice." And then I had to wait outside. I was looking at them eating.
Really?
Yeah. And then after an hour, they were finished and we continued playing.
That's we're kind of stereotyping, but that this happened for you, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we know each other for a long time already.
Exactly.
You're the person I have experienced the most experiences with. Like 2 days ago, I told you, I never really think about that stuff. But when we were younger, we went on holidays, always the two of us playing football in France and Italy.
Exactly, especially when we were younger, we were just best friends doing everything together. We were saying to each other, I can't imagine back in the day if I would have to go on holiday without you. It would be so boring.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
Always. And I always had to ask guys if they want to play football with us because you were too shy.
Exactly. I was just telling my brother, hey, go ask them. I was too shy to ask them.
Yeah, man. I think that always that's also how we divide our roles in the company. Really our character traits. When I look back at videos when we were younger, when my dad always let us sing with a karaoke set. And then I was, going all out, crazy dances. And you were also singing, but, no dance, just singing like this.
Exactly, serious face.
So yeah, that's why now you do more, the back end of the business. And I'm more focused on the front end. I, do a lot of management. I build up the whole team. I do a lot of the talking. And my brother is doing the numbers, very important aspect. But, maybe, that's how we, basically when we were a child, we had an amazing childhood, two foreign parents, which gave us a unique experience. I think that's also why our English is so good, because when we were, hanging out with family friends, all we had to do was speak English.
Exactly.
They don't speak Dutch.
No. Mm-hmm. No, true. That's completely right. Yeah. I think, but yeah, I'm very grateful for that. As you said, maybe in the beginning, as a kid, you don't know things. Maybe also you don't know some Dutch words, etc. Because at home you don't speak Dutch. Maybe that makes it a bit harder in school, for example. But besides that, I think it's amazing just to have this unique experience, just have this unique perspective on life. I'm really grateful for that.
No, 100%. Especially going to Tanzania at a young age, that really puts life in perspective. Because when you're in the Netherlands, you take a lot of stuff for granted, being able to sit on your toilet, having concrete in your street, just having a tap with unlimited amount of water.
Exactly.
That goes warm as well.
Driving on a normal road.
Yeah, man. Like when we went to Tanzania, always we were not having the traditional the Tanzanian experience most of you guys have when you go to Tanzania.
No, we were having the local experience. Yeah, that's also like why it was especially like when we were really young, when like internet data was not really like a big thing. Then I remember I was actually like quite happy to go back after like 2 weeks, because it was literally you just go 2 weeks off the grid, no connect, because in a phone you can kind of like lose, disconnected from reality, so you're just 2 weeks off the grid, just living like a local in Tanzania, which actually like you truly experience the life. But I don't know if you're 10 years old or something like it, that can also be quite intense.
Yeah, man. Eating the same thing every day, because all you do is visit family when you're there. So everyone wants to make the special dish. Why you need the special dish every single day? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah.
But it was amazing. Like even though like also like last time when we went last year we were for the last time, was also amazing. Like always loving it there.
Yeah, man. Like our dad, he came a long way. Now. We have a very nice house in the Netherlands. At the moment, he's working a 9-to-5 job at Nokia. For if you look at it from a perspective from a Dutch person, it's just normal. But if you look where our dad comes from,
a village without electricity.
Exactly.
That's where it came. It's not even a random village there. It's literally a village without electricity in the middle of nowhere in Tanzania.
Yeah, exactly. The journey he went on is insane. He went to, going to high school is not normal in Tanzania. You need to get good grades, otherwise you can't get into high school. So he was grinding, getting the best grades of the whole province so that he could get into
high school.
Yeah, best high school in Tanzania, 1,000 kilometers away from his parents.
Exactly.
At 15 years old, I cannot even imagine at 15 years old, being having a long distance relationship with my parents with no phone.
No, exactly. No, crazy. So yeah, that's what he started with. Then he went to university in Tanzania. Then he realized, oh shit, maybe he was noticing some people around him were going to Europe to study. So he was again grinding his ass off to get the good grades, to get a scholarship, so he could. Because for some reason they were giving out scholarships for very few selected people in the whole country to go study in Eastern Europe. So that then where he went to study in Poland, met our mother as well. She's Polish, so that's where they studied. He didn't even speak Polish, and so this is like 35 years ago. No one speaks English there. He doesn't speak Polish. His study is fully in Polish, so he got there from Tanzania in the cold, and first year was just focused on learning Polish, and then just doing the whole study in Polish.
Yeah, like 7 years. And before that, he had to go to the army as well in Tanzania, otherwise he couldn't even get into university.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He was like, wasn't he like 25 when he went to the first year of university in Poland?
I think so, around that, yeah.
25 with 18-year-olds, and Poland was racist at the time as well. Like our dad always said that there was certain trams, if you go at a certain time, like you're just stupid because
it's 35 years ago.
It's too dangerous because there's so many racist people that literally beat you up.
Yeah.
What crazy time. And then 7 years of doing university in Poland, met my mom, got a nice job, and then got a transfer to the Netherlands, and now we are here.
Exactly. So yeah, shortly afterwards we were born. I was born like 3 months after they moved. Look at 3 years, and that's how we were brought up basically in the Netherlands.
Yeah, so grateful that our dad went all the way from Tanzania to Netherlands, because that's why we have all of these opportunities. Having such a strong passport, that's something also a lot of times you take for granted.
Having internet.
Yeah, having internet, not having to worry about where we're going to sleep tonight. Not having to worry about what we're going to eat today. Mm-hmm. All we can do is just worrying about our dreams. Are we going to chase our dreams? But we have so much family in Tanzania that, they don't even know if they can eat meat this year.
Exactly.
Because meat is too expensive. So because our dad and our mom gave us this crazy opportunity. You know, we're taking it in, you know, full advantage of it. I
Exactly.
think everyone that grows up in a Western country where they have a place to sleep, they have something to eat, they have internet, a phone, a laptop, you have literally no excuse not to, you know, be extremely successful.
I fully agree with that.
You know, but it's also a bit too much to say that everyone can make it out, because, you know, I know how it can be if you know, don't have any place to sleep, and it's all you have to worry about. How can you think about, you know, running Facebook ads?
No.
Yeah, but, you know, my dad still shows that it is possible, because he comes literally from the lowest of the lows. The only way it could get worse if he was also in a war zone. Luckily, he was in a war zone, but in a place where there's no war, you cannot get lower than that. Sleeping with 7 brothers in one bed with goats underneath, no mattress, and then still making all the way to the Netherlands. You know, that's why I feel also such a responsibility to be extremely successful, because how can he go through all of that and me just being comfortable?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But so, tell them a bit more. So, like, how was our upbringing? Like, how did we grow up? What did we do together? You know, how was it?
Yeah, so in my perspective, you know, you were my best friend until I was like 10 years old or something, because you know, when we were both like basically kids, we were always playing together, playing football outside. You were teaching me everything. When we were in primary school, I was always allowed to play with the older boys, because, you know, I was my brother's friends.
Yeah.
And then when my brother went off school, I couldn't play with them anymore, and no one was fucking with me, because my brother otherwise, you know, stood up for me. So I always felt really protected, and always when we were on holiday, it was always so fun. But then I became like 10, and you were like 13, and I want to play hide and seek with you outside, and I go in your room, hey, want to play hide and seek? No, I'm not gonna play hide and seek. I'm playing PlayStation.
Exactly. That's man, bro. I was not a child anymore, bro.
So yeah, at that time,
Yeah, that was like right when we moved houses. You know, like remember we moved houses when I was yeah, exactly around that age, like 12 to 9 or something. And that I think 1 year we were still playing, and then the switch came. You know, like I was not interested in playing hide and seek or tag anymore outside. I was just, you know, doing the basic stuff, playing PlayStation, yeah, playing FIFA and stuff like.
yeah. So at that time it became really boring. I remember I had quite difficult. I didn't have a lot of friends at the time, so I was really bored at home. I remember there was one summer holiday when we didn't go on any holiday, so it was just 6 weeks in the house. You were playing PlayStation. All my friends were on holiday or were living far away because we just moved, so I was so bored. I remember so those summer holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it for you?
Yeah, like I experienced the same. Like when we were kids, we were just always playing outside, always playing football, or just stupid game building stuff at home in our room, just completely renovating our house, building like fortress and everything. That's how I remember. And then indeed, at some age, like at around you were 10, I was like 13. Then I was not playing outside every day anymore. You know, then maybe because this is the age difference, I was getting more into puberty. The interest started to change. But yeah, then also like quite soon afterwards, we already started, you know, doing things more together. Like I remember, I think I was around like 14 or something maybe. Then because I think always as a kid, like at least for me, like I was always Googling, you know, like how to make money online and stuff like that. Maybe since I was I feel like 9 years old basically. And then I thought, okay, maybe I can start a YouTube channel, like not like a personal YouTube channel, but I thought, okay, maybe I can make like compilations of different vines or like different funny videos, like, and then repost them and just get views that way and make money. That's what I was thinking about. So yeah, that's what I was trying out. Not getting a lot of views, but I was just posting, trying things, and then out of nowhere, I just reposted like one video of like a Formula One or a crash or something, and it went viral.
Wasn't it that man that jumped from the sky?
Oh, that's true, man. Oh, I even forgot about that one.
With your BlackBerry, you recorded the screen.
Yeah, okay, so this is even like 3 years before I did this. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Like one man, he jumped from the sky, and then I just thought, like, I think his name was Felix Baumgartner. Like he was jumping from the sky onto the earth, like sponsored by Red Bull, everything, and I just, I don't know what I thought. Like I was searching, watching a live stream, and I just thought, okay, let me just record it. I just recorded it with my crappy ass phone.
Yeah, the BlackBerry.
The BlackBerry. And then I just thought, okay, let me just post it on YouTube, maybe get some views or something, I don't know. So then I reposted. But also, and I remember now as well, I even already forgot about this. Like, so that was when I was like 11 or something. And that's also when I was writing blogs, or I think around 12, I was writing blogs online. Because when I was Googling how to make money online, I saw that you could make money with like writing blogs or something. So I thought, okay, I'm playing FIFA, so let me write blogs about FIFA. So I was just, I don't know, just writing every week, just writing something on like this random blog site, of course. I don't know how, but every time I was getting like 20 views or something. I don't know where these people...
What were you writing?
I don't even remember, honestly, bro. Like, I don't even remember.
Ronaldo is informed this week, guys.
I don't know. I just thought, you know, I could maybe make some money that way. But I thought that, and then I thought, okay, maybe I can make money by just doing reviews, because I was watching like reviews for like a laptop or something. So I was making like a random video about my about my headphones, and I thought, okay, maybe I can grow that way, and then I can maybe get like stuff for free or something. I don't know. Maybe posted like 2 videos that never got any views. But then the crazy thing is, like a couple years later, I checked it, I remember, because I did it for maybe like 6 months. And then I remember looking back, in the end, I made like €5. You know? In the end, like I made some money, because at first I made zero, nothing. But yeah, that's what I started with. And then, yeah, like 3 years later, so that was around 2-3 years later. So
what age were you?
The blogs I was around 12, I think. I think I was around 12. It was like my last year. I think it was my last year of high school slash my my last year of primary school slash my first year of high school. And then I think in around my 3rd year of high school, so I was around 14, 15. That's when I got to the YouTube thing. I thought, okay, maybe I can repost some vines and stuff to get, basically to go viral. And so I was not getting that many views, and then out of nowhere I posted this Formula 1 clip, and it was just going viral out of nowhere. I had like 200k views, and I had like my YouTube AdSense on, like, and out of nowhere, like in one day, like I made like, I remember like €100. Man, I maybe had like €300 on my bank account. I was like, what is going on? Like crazy. And then I was just really milking this out, reposting more similar types of videos, doing more and more. And out of nowhere, I made like 1K. Like, as I said, I had like €300 in my bank account. I was like 14 years old, 15. Out of nowhere, in 1 month, I made like 1K. Crazy. And then, that's also when I told you, Lucas, man, you need to do this YouTube stuff. I teach you how to do it. Out of nowhere, your videos were also going viral.
Yeah. I made like, I remember in 2 months, I made like 2K.
Yeah, man.
I was 12.
Yeah, you were 12. I was 15. You were 12. Like, that was...
Oh, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what we did. But then eventually, you know, we had some copyright strikes issue because we were posting maybe some copyrighted content. So, then that was finished, you know. And, I think then always I was trying more things. Like, at some point I thought, okay, maybe I need to make like Instagram accounts. So I thought, okay, I think that was like very, very shortly afterwards. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna make this like media empire called the Tim's Media Network. So I started 3 accounts, like Tim's Food, Tim's Business, Tim's Motivation. Now, Tim's Luxury and Tim's Motivation. So I was posting food pictures, posting luxury cars and hotels and everything, and like motivational quotes. So I was doing it every single day, just posting, and for all the accounts, just following, unfollowing like thousands of people every single day. Eventually, like one page had like 10k followers, one maybe like 2 and 4k, but they didn't really make money with that. But yeah, I just thought, let me try this, but never made money. And then like I think it was like 6 to 12 months after that, so I was around 16 then, I thought, okay, I came across a meme account and I saw that he was doing like slide posts. And then I thought, okay, let me try to do this again, growing like Instagram pages, but then with like memes, in a slide post, because I really like that. I tried it, still was doing following, unfollowing, and then I remember one person DM'd me. He said, hey, do you want to join a DM group? So that like and comment group. So that's how I figured out. Oh shit! So there exist these groups where people are commenting on each other's videos. And then shortly I got into more groups, and then I started to understand the algorithm, so that you could manipulate the algorithm by just in these groups you're just commenting on other people's posts, they comment on your posts, and that way you're like manipulating like Instagram into thinking this is a good post, and your post goes viral and on the explore page. So that's when a world got open to me. I was just in lots of different like and comment groups. I remember I was posting like 6 times a day. Every time, for every post, you're just first 30 minutes for every post, just commenting on other people's posts and then telling them, hey, I commented, please return, so that your post goes viral. Doing that, and then out of nowhere, I figured out, I understood how the algorithm works, like 10, 20K followers. The ball was rolling 30, 40. Like I really started to understand Instagram. And then I figured out, man, I can make money like selling shout outs, affiliate marketing, like different types of ways. Like in the end, I had like 300K followers on this account. And so also like before that, I already again told you, man, Lucas, go on this Instagram grind. Like maybe tell how was your perspective from that?
Yeah, so then first you helped me do that YouTube thing. Every time, my brother comes with an idea, like he said, he's watching YouTube, gets an idea, and he just tells me, and I just do the same every single time.
Yeah, because I already tried 10 other things that didn't work. Telling you this that worked.
Yeah, exactly. Because his passion was, and still is just business. That's all he does in his free time. Well, for me, it wasn't really business. I was, really into planes. I still really am into airplanes. Mm-hmm. Yes, even in the summer holiday with my mom, I just went to Schiphol Airport.
Yeah, watching planes.
I get a sausage.
The craziest thing was that you could just look in the sky and tell, oh, that's a Boeing 747-600, like, oh yeah, and because you can see like on the engine, it's like there's these signs on there. But also because of you, I also know quite a bit about planes, just because you know all this stuff.
Well, my wife hates it. Always when we go fly, I say, hey, see that plane is a 777-300ER? Yeah, it can go very far, and she just, tell me more. But she's British and I'm Dutch. When you're Dutch, you're very direct. So I thought, she wants me to tell her more. And then after a couple times, he explained me, I'm sarcastic, right? I don't care. Oh, my heart was broken. Yeah, I was in my free time. All I did was I go on Google Images, and I type in Boeing 737-800, and then I just look at these pictures, and I memorize them all. And then I thought, wait, it has a 737, there must be a 747 as well. So then I typed Boeing 747, and then I did that for months, every single day after school. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know why. It was so fun, like it was so interesting. And then I got a new grind, watching airplane tickets. I'm a master in finding the cheapest tickets.
Yeah.
So, when we went on holiday, my parents, they just wanted us to have a nice holiday. Mm-hmm. They didn't really care, but we needed a slide,
a water slide, big water park,
exactly.
Football pitch.
So my parents just gave us a budget. They say like, you have 1,000 euros for a week, and we're gonna do it in France. Find something nice. So then, the grind was
for 1 month. We were just looking. I know every like single spot you can go in like France and Spain. I know them,
Yeah, exactly.
Going, finding the best deal, looking at the slides.
Yes.
Man. Looking at Google satellite images, how does it look there,
Exactly. So that's really, Yeah, and then I also had to look for flights. What are the cheapest flights? I look on open Google Maps. I see which airports are even nearby. Maybe it's cheaper from this airport, from that airport to there. All the different combinations I compared, different dates. And I found it so fun. But that really taught me to budget, because back in the day I didn't know the value of money. It was especially when I'm 12 and I make 2K in 2 months. When I had zero money on my bank account, maybe I had 60 euros from a birthday I got from all my friends. I got 10 euros.
Yeah.
And then also you have 2K for basically doing nothing. So, but with that budgeting, I really learned like money is not infinite. I saw all the places, they were like 4K for a week, 6K, that looked amazing. But our budget was 1K.
Yeah.
I see those 6K and it looks amazing. I thought, how on earth can we have a nice place for 1K?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
How is that possible?
But we found them.
Yeah, exactly.
After long search.
Long search.
Yeah.
And you find them and you make it work. So then it really was taught how to have a limited budget and make the most out of that.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
think to this day we still use it in our business.
Yeah, exactly. And then tell me, so like what with the Instagram stuff, like so we did the YouTube stuff and then Instagram. So like when I got you into it, how was it for you? Like how did you experience the Instagram time? Like because like I grew my account to 300K followers, but you did the same. You were also up there, like I think like 250K followers or something.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Man, that was also really crazy. I remember I was used to the YouTube times, We work 30 minutes a day and you make 2K in 2 months. And then you were trying to convince me to do this Instagram and you said you were doing 3 hours a day and you made like 400 euros in a month.
Yeah.
I thought that doesn't sound appealing to me. What a bad deal.
Yeah.
So a very long time I didn't do it, even though you tried to convince me. And then at a certain moment you got like 100K followers. I remember. Then also the day you got 100K followers, your account got banned as well, right?
Oh yeah, man, that's right. Yeah, true.
Oh, that was so painful.
Yeah, it was painful. Yeah, exactly. I got it back, luckily. But yeah, bro. Oh my god, headache.
So then, you got around 100K followers, and you started making like 1K a month. And then I was already like 3 years after I was doing YouTube. I thought, okay, actually maybe the life is not that easy, and it's not that realistic to make this money so quickly with no really work. So then I thought, I'm making no money right now. I remember I did newspapers when I was 13 because I really wanted to make money, And I thought, okay, at least I couldn't wait to get my first job. You need to be 13 to do newspapers.
Yeah.
Or even before that, I was helping you when you did newspapers.
Yeah, exactly. You were helping me. I was getting man, it was like 4 hours working. I was getting 4 euros for like 4 hours. I paid you 1 euro so you could help me.
Yeah.
I was like 13, you were 10 maybe.
Yeah, it was horrible in the rain.
In the rain, bro.
The bike falls over with all the heavy.
Such a man, all the newspapers on the side, on the back of your bike, and your steering wheel going up.
Making a wheelie.
Yeah. And everything on the ground. Oh yeah.
And the dogs, man. Sometimes some houses.
And some houses just had their door open. Remember? Like the doors were not properly closed, and you hear the dog barking there. You're like, yo, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you had a horrible newspaper because you had the folders. They were really thick.
Exactly.
With villas, so you had to walk so far away.
Yeah, you're just having when you did it, you're just apartment blocks.
Yeah, exactly. I had
Easy
apartment
stuff.
blocks with thin newspapers.
Yeah.
But I remember at school, you could get a sandwich for €1.70. And at the time, that was already after my glory days of YouTube. Then I did no income. And then I remember money was so scarce. Like everyone there were a couple of people, including me. They go to people, hey, do you have 20 cents? 20 cents?
Like a homeless person.
Yeah. You had 20 cents for me, man. Come on, it's only 20 cents. You go to like 10 people, and then you have enough money for sandwich. That was the grind.
Yeah.
And then after that, I thought, okay, with these newspapers, I get €4.50 per day. I did 2 times a week, Wednesday and Saturday. and it was 2 hours of work, and then I can buy like 4 sandwiches in a week. That's a crazy deal. So then I did it, but it was horrible, man. Absolutely horrible. In the cold, the freezing cold, in the rain. I remember one day after like every time Wednesday you come back from school and you see the huge pile of newspapers. That horrible feeling of, oh my God, man, reality hits again. I need to go. At a certain moment, after like 3 months, I just thought, fuck this shit, man. I just went to the garbage bin. I threw away all the newspapers, and then someone called my mom. Like my supervisor, he said, "Hey, did Lucas do the newspapers today?" My mom said, "Yes, yeah, Lucas did the newspapers. Someone called us and they said he didn't get a newspaper today." I said, "No, my son definitely did it." And then mom asked me, "Did you do the newspapers today?" No.
You're like, what?
Yeah, what? I just told him you did it. And then my mom helped me and we did it together, I remember. And then I thought, okay, maybe this is time to retire.
Yeah. Was that your last time?
Yeah, after that I quit. I remember even one time I went on holiday. I even told my supervisor I'm going on holiday for a week. I came back and then I gave the newspapers again, but I always gave to old people in the neighborhood. And then this one man, he told me, "Hey, why didn't you give me the newspaper last week?" I said, I was on holiday. "Yeah, that's not my problem." Oh, he thought, man, what am I doing? Yeah. Yeah, and then I was 15, just moved forward 2 years. I still wanted to make money, and then Albert Heijn, the supermarket, I could get a job and I could make €4.60 an hour. What an upgrade. 2 hours in the evening, make €9 in a day. Oh, crazy. But then I realized how extremely boring that was, because I was so slow. I always got like a time, estimated time on how long they expect you to do it. It was like 1 hour, 30 minutes. And I was doing as fast as I could, you know, filling in all the gaps. And then I was like 2.5 hours. And after like 1 month of that, it was such horrible work. I remember I used to enjoy going to the supermarket. I thought such a nice place. But after that experience, I absolutely hated the supermarket. It was really not meant for me. And in the first month, I made €80. And then you came to me and you said, "Hey man, come on, do this Instagram account." And I thought, okay, let me give it a try. I hate working in the supermarket. So he told me, what you need to do is just 3 weeks of just grinding, 3 hours a day. You need to follow people, unfollow people, comment on people and stuff. And you're gonna make no results, no money, no followers. And after 3 weeks, trust me, exponential growth. You're gonna get like 1K followers a day and money starts rolling in. And I thought, okay, let me give it a try. And he said, "Yeah, but you have to do 3 weeks, man, trust me." So then after 3 days, I thought, man, this is so boring. What am I doing? I'm making no money. 3 hours a day just following, unfollowing people, reposting memes. And then I thought, oh, I already told my brother I have to do it for 3 weeks. How can I come back to him and say I stopped? You know, I thought I can be a bitch. So I thought, okay, I have to finish the 3 weeks. So I just kept doing it for 3 weeks, and you were absolutely right. After 3 weeks, I got like 1K followers a day, and you know, it was a crazy math how you can go on Explore page. Then I remember I had, after like 1 month, I had 30K followers, and I had 18 million impressions in a week from all my memes.
Man, it was just follow the steps and you would go viral.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, at the time, drop shipping was just coming up. So a lot of people were buying ads from meme pages for like $5 or something. So then I did like a couple of those a day, put them into your slide posts, and then you make money. So then I remember the first month at Albert Heijn, I made €80. And then the second month, when I was working at Albert Heijn, I did the meme account, and then I made €800 with the meme account.
Yeah.
Then I was like, man, what am I doing in the supermarket? Immediately I stopped, I quit. Usually you had to keep working for a month, but I was so slow. I told my supervisor, I said, hey man, I quit. He's like, why? I said, yeah, because I'm doing a meme account now. He looked at me like,
what are you talking about?
and then I only had to continue working for 3 days. I don't think they wanted me there.
No, they wanted you gone.
But even you also tried to apply for the
Man,
Albert Heijn.
I think I was the only person maybe in the world that applied for Albert Heijn and didn't get admitted. I don't know. I just went there to the interview and I don't know. I was sitting there maybe a bit too uninterested or something. I don't know. But they, yeah. And then I had to work at Domino's Pizza, just delivering pizzas on my bike. So for me, it was just, so that was before you worked there. So I was at Domino's Pizza, just whilst on the bike, just posting, commenting on people's posts while they're just doing it at the same time. And then eventually, then the realization came for me, man, I'm making much more now with Instagram now than Domino's Pizza. So let's just quit this.
Yeah. You were like 16, 17?
Yeah, I think so. Like when I started the Instagram stuff, well, like the first real time was around 15, and then with the meme page, I think it was around 16, 17. And yeah, I think like at the end of me being 17 is when I kind of started being successful and also got you into it. I think.
Exactly. I was 15, he was 3 years older than me.
Yeah, I think, weren't you maybe 14? Like in your third year of high school?
No, because I was working at Albert Heijn and you can only work there when you're 15.
Oh yeah, okay, then yeah. So then, exactly. So then I was already doing it for some time, so I started and then eventually I became 18 and then you were exactly 15.
Yeah. So then after, I made that 800 euros, I quit Albert Heijn, and then it was just going crazy. I remember I wasn't getting that many promotions as you, and that's also a big business skill I learned there. I was just letting all the people come to me, but no one came. And you said what you have to do is you have to look at other meme pages, who is already buying promotions, and DM the people which bought promotions on other pages and send them your price list. And then you taught me to make a good deal in there as well.
Exactly, I was already upselling, exactly. Making a good deal was like with a post for, I don't know, let's say $10 story for $10 for story plus post for $15, something, or maybe a higher price, but something like that. I was already doing these making a great offer, upselling them as well, even offering people to help them grow a page as well if they would like to, doing some consulting calls as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Even upselling them with that.
I had that too. You told me I remember price list. It was, I think, like $5 for a story post and like $6 for a permanent post and $7 for the combination. Combo deal. And then $20 for teaching you how to make this meme account.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I go on the Skype call with you.
Yeah.
And I teach you.
Yeah, like 1 hour, 30 minutes calling for like $20.
Yeah, man. But then, when you told me that, I was going crazy. You send like 10 people every single day. And then, I remember I was selling like 5 to 10 of those promotions a day. It's posting like 10 times a day with a slight post, liking, commenting on people. It was extremely boring work, but it was paying very well. That's just the discipline. And then I remember I was making 800 euros, 1,000, 1,500. And I remember there was this one video who always went viral, like 1 million views. And then I just reposted 2 weeks later, got 1 million views again. 2 weeks later, again. Always. I knew exactly which post would always go viral. And then you have in the middle like double tap with your nose, and then you had there was the like bait. You need a like bait, comment bait,
and you need the clickbait as well. The first
post
should be like
clickbait.
Something clickbait. Usually it was like a meme with like a woman in a bikini or something in it, because it needed to catch people their eyes while they're scrolling explore page. It was really a thought out strategy, like a full slide making. That was clicking, getting their attention, getting likes, getting comments, manipulating people to comment, comment your name letter by letter.
Yeah, exactly.
And then at the end, it would say follow this account or the spiders will be in your room tonight.
Yeah, you had the spiders and I had the clown. Exactly. The clown will be in your room tonight.
And that was working very well. Yeah, man.
And then at a certain moment, Sweatcoin came. You know,
Yeah, man, this app.
Sweatcoin. It's not any crypto. It was
No.
it was just an app, and if you walk, you get sweat coins, and then you can get like discounts on different brands.
Exactly.
And if you promote that, and someone downloads the app with your link, at a certain moment, it was like
€2 per download at like the peak.
yeah, exactly. For 50 invites, you got $100.
Yeah, $100. Yeah.
And with those meme pages, you know, you post 10 times a day. I stopped doing promotions for other people. All I did was just, I think, you know, in the slide post, I put like an ad for Sweatcoin, link in my bio, and I was making like 2K a month.
Exact. And that was crazy, man.
Yeah, bro, all Sweatcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really money printing. But then, you know, where it really comes down to, because it was extremely simple. It was just boring. And I had multiple friends that I said the exact same thing that you said, because I want to help everyone, man. I want to see everyone up. So I told them, man, look, I'm making this much money now. You can do it too. All you have to do is 3 weeks of this grinding, do this, and then it will pay off. You will scale exponentially. And all of the guys I taught, they all stopped after 3 days. And the difference between me and them was I thought after 3 days the motivation is gone, but let me execute my plan even though I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And other people are like, okay, I don't feel like it anymore, let me do something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because it was literally just following the steps.
Yeah, man.
It was clear.
And that's with everything in life, I think that is the case. You just need to, you know, motivation gets you going, but discipline makes you finish.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so then we had Sweatcoin, you know, and then Sweatcoin we were doing amazing, and then eventually we went into some drop shipping, right?
Yeah. So at a certain moment we had like 260K followers or something, both of us, and then we were making like 2K a month, but we couldn't really sell promotions anymore because the method wasn't working anymore on Explore page. Mm-hmm. If you had such a big account, but if you had a small account, you were still going on Explore page. But drop shipping also at that time, people didn't really buy many promotions anymore on Instagram. People started going to meta ads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was more like just rappers wanting to promote their stuff, or just other people just trying to grow their page that bought promotions from you, but it was way less than before. So you couldn't really make much money with that anymore. So then we saw all of these little pages still going extremely viral. So then we thought, hey, why don't we just, because these small pages, they don't even know you can make money with this. Why don't we just give them an affiliate deal? We started a drop shipping store. We're selling fake AirPods, the earpods.
No, but also let's rewind it, because we were already doing dropshipping before that, right? Like
True.
Like first it was started with me, like my YouTube algorithm was only about making money, you know. So like I was seeing all these dropship videos. So this was like 2017, 2018. So I already had like 3-4 different stores. That's also actually how the brand Eve Curls came, because my first store, I wanted to sell like dog necklaces. And I thought, okay, the brand should be called something with dog, and then something simple, which doesn't mean anything. So the domain name is cheap. And then it came with Eve Dog. And that's also actually, for Eve Curls, it was exactly the same. Okay, let's get curly hair curls, Eve Curls. But I started with that. Then first I started, okay, let's do it with meta ads. I put €100. Put €100 in my account. Then straight away, for some reason, I didn't even run ads. It got banned. €100 gone. 1 second. Then I promoted it on my own Instagram page. Sold one thing. Then I ran some ads. No sales at all. I tried some other things. I made like my own dropshipping store, and I was promoting it a bit on my own meme page, my dropshipping store. Getting some sales, nothing crazy, you know, maybe making like a couple €100 in profit or something, or maybe like 1K, but we were most make like 1K in total, you know, like 100 or maybe like 1K max. And then you also, I think you were later on, like after I did that, you were also started like a dropshipping store with a friend of you. He made like the store and everything, and you just promoted it on your meme page.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Viper goodies.
Exactly. Yeah, you were the same thing. You're just promoting it on your store, and then I remember I was seeing your reps. I was telling him, man, this is so shit, man. Like, like this could be done so much better. Then he thought, man, let's just maybe do this together, right? You know, like we quit with him, we work together, we make a store together, we make a good store, we promote it on both our pages, and then we thought as well, what you said, like, hey, we know how to grow on Instagram. So we had like 300K followers. We were seeing all these accounts with 20K followers, and we were basically helping them, advising them how to go viral. And then we were offering as well, like they could, because these accounts, they also didn't really know how to make money, you know. And we were offering them, hey, you could promote our store with an affiliate link, and we would just give them a commission, basically affiliate marketing. And out of nowhere, man, it was going like crazy.
It was going crazy. We had like
crazy, not like hundreds of thousands.
No. But at that age, we had 50 affiliates, all small accounts, and I remember we did 17K in revenue in like 2 months.
Yeah.
No ads.
No ads. Just a commission, which was like 20%.
Yeah, we made like 50% profit.
Yeah.
Split it by 2. We made like 2.5K each a month.
Exactly. In like 2 months, we made like 5K. See, that was also like a nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. I thought I was a millionaire already. I was, I think I was 16 at the time. Man, I didn't know what was happening because I was already making money before that, and then it was just going up. I remember that's also when my goal setting started. I was doing it unconsciously, but when I look back at it now, it like that really, you know. I think drove me to go and think even more out of the box because, you know, I was 15. You know, the most you can make is like 80 euros a month in the supermarket, and then I remember I made my first 800 euro a month and then 1K, and I thought by the end of the year I'm gonna make 10,000 euros. So what I did, I had a notebook, and then every single month I wrote down how much money I made. I calculated all my bank transactions, and then by the end of the year, I made 9,991 euros, I remember. I was like, how did this happen?
Yeah, man, I remember like like a couple years ago, I found this notebook as well. Like we were like writing down everything, you know, like we were calculating on paper how much we made, you know?
Yeah. Well, I didn't really do anything with the money. I'm not really like a big materialistic guy. Didn't go buy any like Gucci or something. I remember I went to the KFC. And I had a gap hour at the high school, and I said, boys, today is on me. Everyone gets a snack box.
Yeah. So how much do you think you made in total with like the Instagram?
I think I made like 15K or something.
Yeah, exactly. So in like a 2-year time span or something, 1 to 2 years. Exactly. For me as well. Like for me, I think I made like around 15, 20K, including like the drop shipping, which is kind of linked to it. Like 5K from that, the rest is selling affiliate marketing promotions.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially like at that age, that just really taught me, man, okay, you can also make money by yourself. Like we already made some money on YouTube, it already showed us, but this was like really something, the first thing which we made for like kind of like a longer time period, a bit more sustainable.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 years, it started dying.
Yeah, immediately after 2 months, we didn't even have a business at the time.
No.
We went to the Chamber of Commerce of the Netherlands.
Exactly.
To register our company, because we thought, you know, maybe we need to do it officially as well now.
Yeah, like if we're making like a bit money.
Yeah. So we got a bookkeeper, and then the month we got our company, no money.
Exactly.
Everything died.
Yeah, but that was because, you know, everyone was just copying us. Like we were very innovative with doing this affiliate stuff. But yeah, the thing is with these meme pages, like basically all these meme pages, especially back in the days, were all run by like 15 or 16, 17-year-old kids who just like, you know, business, making money like we were doing. All of them. So you know all the pages. You know, like you were talking with them, you were keeping an eye on each other, so they see what you were doing. And you know, dropshipping, like there is no barrier to entry, so they just copy you instantly. They just DMing the people you're doing affiliate with, they're offering them a higher commission, they steal all of your clients, and everything is gone.
Yeah, man, I remember I got hacked as well.
Oh yeah, you got hacked.
There was a guy, he wanted to give me a very good deal. was like 1K a month for like 60 promotions or something on my page.
Yeah.
So I thought, man, that's crazy. So we hopped on a call. He was from the US, same age as us. I thought, hey, maybe my brother, I can link him up with you too. He also has a meme page. I thought, I can help you too. And then it was 2 guys, and it was I remember this page called Comedy Plug. I was doing shout out for shout out with him for like a year already. I knew him. I had so much trust with him. We already did a lot of business. And then he said, yo, I have this manager, you talk to him. So then I talked to him, and I thought, wow, what an opportunity. The free money, basically. So then we went on a call with him, and then they divided us in the call. You were talking with the Comedy Plug guy, I was talking with the other guy, and I had to sign a contract. And he sent to me on Discord an application .exe. I had no idea what it was, but that's just basically a Microsoft file or something. Can never be a contract. So I click on that and nothing opens. So I was like, hey, it doesn't work. It's like, oh, that's weird. Try again. I click again, nothing works. He said, wait, let me try and fix it. Maybe in the meantime you can log in on your Instagram on your laptop and then record with your phone so I know for sure that it's your account. I thought, okay, makes sense. So I log in on Instagram, and then he said, okay, can you now go to settings and turn off 2-factor authentication? I was like, why do you want me to turn that off? And he was, man, just, then I really know that it's your account, man. Can you just do it? I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. No, man, just turn it off. I was like, no, man, what are you talking about? I'm not gonna turn it off. Here you go. I'm logged in. You see, it's me. And then he says, man, check your DM. So I check my DM, and he just sends me my password. Bro, I don't know. Oh my god, I had like 260K followers. I worked like 2 years in that shit. I saw everything flashing. It's like, man, what did you do? My brother was sitting in the room next to me, so I went to my brother.
Exactly.
And brother, what did you say to him?
I don't know. I was like kind of like threatening him, like, bro, what are you doing, you stupid ass? I don't know. And
Yeah, what are you doing, man? Like,
you think you're funny, ha, blah blah blah. And then we shut off the call. And I remember I was kind of like, man, how are you so stupid, bro? You're giving him your password. I should tell you about that. You just lost your account, man.
Yeah.
You're fucked now, yeah. Man, like, how did you do? Yeah, how can you fall for that?
And then he sent me a picture of me behind my laptop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's when I started reading, because first I thought that I don't know how, but for some reason you just gave him your passports. And then when he sent this picture of your face, like a screenshot of your webcam, then he realized, oh shit, like he really hacked you into your computer or something. Like, man, so that's when, oh shit, okay. Let's fix this. And I was called. Then we woke up our dad. We're like, hey, what's going?
Yeah,
like,
because our dad is like a programmer.
Yeah, like he does work with a lot of computing stuff. So
it was middle of the night, like
Yeah.
12. I woke up my dad, dad, all stressed. Like, oh, I'm hacked. What do I do?
Yeah.
And he was like, so did you turn off the Wi-Fi? I was like, no. And then he just starts laughing at me.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, man? I was so scared and stressed. So then he said, if you turn off the internet, then he can't have access to your computer anymore.
No.
Like it's the most obvious thing in the world. So then my dad looked in my computer and he said, yeah, man, we just have to reset everything, delete all your files of your computer. And then luckily, because I had my 2-factor authentication on, he didn't get it in. But
Exactly.
it was a bit of a side quest, but I just remembered that. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. So how did we get to that point? We were talking about so drops that we made about 20K. Like, so yeah, that was crazy. At that age, is making this amount of money. It realized, like what is possible. And I think also because then we quit that because eventually like Instagram was dying a bit. We both sold our pages, and then it was I was in my first year of university. Back then, when we kind of stopped, you were then in your like 4th year of high school or something. And that's also when kind of our paths like split a bit. Because I think when I was 18, like right after high school, I also moved out. Like I was living with my parents until I was 18. Then I moved to Rotterdam for my studies. So then we kind of split out, and then for some time we didn't do like like business anymore. Like well, sometime not like 10 years, but I mean like for months or something. So I remember then I was still like at first I was studying, also living a bit of the student life, like partying and everything, you know, experiencing that life, living on my own. But still, I was always interested in business. Like I was always just every day watching videos about how to do drop shipping or anything. I remember like shortly afterwards, I thought I was seeing all these videos from Iman Gaji or Tai Lopez about a social media marketing agency. So then I was like, thought, okay, I'm gonna do that one, gonna do marketing for tattoo artists. So I was calling tattoo artists to maybe if I can if I can get an appointment with them so I can help them with their marketing. No, I couldn't convince anyone on the phone. Then shortly after having some calls and then that also kind of quit with that. And then and then think about like sometime afterward, like maybe like 6 months, 1 year later. I think 6 months later, we were on the kitchen table, right? And then we were talking about with our parents as well. Like our mom, she's a chemist. She has always had like her own company making basically formulations for people who wanted to start like a cosmetics business or anything. And she was always telling us like, hey, that she's gonna make products for us, for our hair. So then I don't know how, but we kind of got, hey, maybe she could make products for our hair and we could make a business out of it. Like you guys were kind of talking about it. Then I also got into the conversation and I was looking like online, checking, okay, which other brands are big right now? And then I saw, oh shit, like there are some brands doing this, but I felt like we could do it much better. Like I felt like their marketing was bad. I was confident that we could do a better job. So that was how kind of the idea came alive into like our brand, Eve Curls. You know, like so what you can see here. It first looked much different, and then so this was in 2020. So I was 20 years old, you were 17 years old, I remember. And then, I think then initially it was just me, my mother and I basically. And because I also wanted you to join as well, like, hey, let's do this together. But you were like young, you were like, you wanted to help, but not have all the responsibility at that age. And you just wanted to focus on getting into your pilot, right? Could you tell?
Yeah, I want to go to flight school.
Exactly, I wanted to go into flight school. So like, okay, no worries. Then we just start, and then later on, I don't know, you join, and then again, of course, product development. We were also not like fully 100% into it. Like I thought we can launch in 3 months. Eventually, the product was we launched like 2 years later. You know, like literally, like we launched. It was end of 2020. We launched September 2022. So like, literally almost 2 years later is when we finally launched.
I was the guinea pig.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you were trying out the product, making the product
perfect. It was
perfect.
made perfect for me, you know. My mom made a sample. I said, "Mom, this is horrible." And then next week another sample. It's a bit better, but this is not good. And then, you know, all the boxes were ticked after 2 years, and it was amazing.
Exactly.
You know? Best thing I've ever used.
And still, for me, like I cannot live without the product.
No, man. I use it for ever since the product was good, every single day.
Yeah, but also from the start, I was already saying to your mother, like, it doesn't need to be only for like our hair. It needs to be like really for the wider group, as there are also a lot of people with a bit of looser curls, a bit more wavy hair, and I always saw like this is like the biggest market, so it needs to work for them as well. So like even though like that's also where we mostly target to, like for us the product is amazing. Like I am so dependent on a product. Like initially we didn't have the product yet. We only had like the samples for my mom. And man, I was every time begging, please make some more products, you know, like I'm always running out, like, because first you were having short hair and then you grow out your hair, you started having the curls, and it really became your identity, you know, like I cannot imagine anymore having short hair really. Like I really, love it how it is like that. But yeah, let's get back to the story. So then finally, so after 2 years, finally the product was ready. And
or maybe you can, because now we're going really 2 years further.
Yeah.
Maybe tell more about that, you know, your life. You know, when you were 18, you stopped the meme account and you went into university.
So how it was for me. So I was, I was already doing the meme account while I was in university. I was already back then. And then, as I said, so then I was just living the student life. I was still doing the meme accounts, trying to call, getting a marketing agency up and running, but then also a lot of, like typical student partying and everything. Honestly, like I really liked it that moment. It was amazing, just really having party time, making lots of friends, amazing memories. Yeah, and just kind of combine it. But I always had my interest in business. Then kind of shortly afterwards, the idea for Equals came. And then it was like 2 years of kind of just waiting. So then I was in these 2 years between we launched, it was kind of just more kind of waiting on when it's finished. So then I was just fully, just living the student party life, basically. But also just fixing my studies. Like I did a study in econometrics and economics, basically. It was like a double degree. So I think when we launched, I finished my bachelor's. So it was like 4 years for like 2 degrees. So that's what I was doing in combination with just, living there on my own. So then that's when we launched, and then but in the beginning, so when we launched then, like did like a gap year because I also wanted to do like my master's degree, and I did like a gap year. So with a gap year, I meant I really want to experience to study abroad. Like before, actually I would go like the year before, I would go to like Beijing in China, but it got cancelled due to COVID. And I really wanted to experience this, like living abroad, studying abroad life. Really thought it would be like something, like a great experience. So then I took like a gap year. So I went like voluntarily, like I didn't even need it for my studies, but I went to study for 5 months in Madrid. It was amazing. And also 6 months in Geneva. I thought, okay, I need to fill it up. Maybe I can get some professional experience. So I did like an internship. So and then
Procter and Gamble, right?
Exactly. So I did an internship at Procter and Gamble. It's just basically a big consumer goods company doing like $80 billion revenue per year. They're owning like hundreds of brands like Head and Shoulders, Pampers, Pantene, Ariel, like basically the whole supermarket. They own lots of products which they are selling there. So I did an internship there also. Actually learned a lot, like a lot of things I learned there, and also just thinking about a business. I learned there because basically we're kind of in a similar business. So I did that. But so in this year of doing the studying abroad experience and internship experience, that's also when we launched Eve Curls. So I was not really like full focus. I was still doing stuff, but maybe like 10 hours a week or something, like little. I was trying things. Also didn't really know what I was doing. I launched some TikTok ads and I set up a website. In the beginning I was getting sales, but not really profitable. Changing things, trying to improve the ads, improve the website, making things better. I did this like not full effort, but over like this year when I was like abroad in Madrid. And so that also, that you don't have like the full focus because it's also like a very, I was living with like 12 people there, also going clubbing and everything, doing these type of things. So, it's hard to really, and study there and party a lot and also like work full time on your business. Impossible, there are only 24 hours in a day. And then also my internship, I was also working full time. So combining with that, so still, I was doing stuff, but very difficult as well to like be fully committed to that. And then was the first year trying things, not profitable. But so maybe we did like 10K in a revenue or something with like maybe minus 20%, minus 10% margins. And that's when I came back from Geneva and I thought, okay, man, honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like my website is horrible. My ads are probably horrible and I'm still getting sales. Like it really shows that there's some potential. So I thought, for me, like I just thought, let me just still do my master's. I just thought like, I just need to be able to do this at the same time as my master's and not keep my master's as an excuse that, hey, I cannot focus on my business. Like I felt like I am the guy who can just do this at the same time. Like I just thought, let me finish my master's with the highest grade possible and and let me like make this business successful. That was just my target. And not even sharing it for anything, just for myself. I just thought that's something I want to do. Like get like a cum laude master degree and yeah, get my business successful. Unfortunately, didn't graduate cum laude eventually. It was
That's still a crazy grade.
Exactly.
Though.
Yeah, it was cum laude was like 8.25. I got like an 8.18. But yeah, that's what I got. Okay, now I'm gonna focus really on the business. So because for me, in my life, school was always easy for me. Luckily, so I didn't always have that much trouble. Like so. Yeah, like I was always studying hard, you know, not do anything, but yeah, like studying was not really the most difficult part for me in my life. So then it was just like a full year of studying for 10 hours a week and just working 50 hours a week, you know, like that was just business 50 hours studying 10, combining it that way, really grinding. I knew like I need to start how to make ads. I need to start understanding how to make a good website. So I was watching so much, like I already did it before, but even more deep dive. How to make good ads, how do you write a copy? Because first of all, like I made the big switch of going from TikTok to Meta because I realized, you know, all the people that are buying are like 40-year-old women or something mostly, and they are not even using TikTok, you know? So why they're all using Facebook, Instagram? So, but the only reason I went to TikTok was because I thought, you know, like TikTok is the new social media, you know, like I need to hop on this new trend. That's why. But then I started thinking logically, and it makes much more sense to run ads on Meta. So that's what we did. Switch to Meta. I really started, okay, how do you make a good, how to make good ads? Like I already knew a bit, but even a bit more. Like about good copywriting, about how you need to have like, how do you make nice hooks? How do you properly introduce a problem into your ads? How do you convince people? How do you showcase the benefits? How do you add urgency to your ad? Because like an ad is basically, like these standard ads you see are basically like a very simple framework where you start with a hook, then you introduce a problem, and then you basically explain how your product is the solution to a certain problem. So you make a problem relatable, like are you also dealing with like frizzy curls every day? Then you introduce, hey, then you should know about Eve curls, that this is the solution to your problem. Then you state the benefits, how it's all natural ingredients, vegan, it's produced in the Netherlands back then still. That's basically then the third part of the ad, and then you basically add some, you add some urgency and you add some guarantees so people know that they can trust you. So for example, you can show some reviews about, hey, we already got so many happy clients with this review rating, and you tell them, and then you showcase them your offer. So please make sure to buy right now with this discount and it ends at this time, so people know they have to take action now, and they add with a call to action. So like this is really what I learned, even better. Like I already knew it before a bit, but even better. And also just how to make a good website, like also implementing all these elements of a good offer, good offer, showcasing the review, showcasing the trust, making people trust your site. Really did a big change in the website. And because I thought, man, like my website was shit, my ads were shit, I was advertising on TikTok, how can I even expect good results? It's all horrible. I need to improve myself. So I learned that, implemented everything. I thought I made it better now. And then ads live, still bad results. So this was around 1 year after the launch. It was around like October, November 2023. So yeah, still bad results. And then I was thinking, because I was in this Discord group of he's like a big e-commerce entrepreneur as well. It's called Davey Fogarty. He had like a free Discord group for like e-commerce. And I just thought, okay, let me just completely like explain my situation. I explained everything, what I was doing, showed my business. I said, I tried this, did this, I got these results, selling this for this price with this brand. I was fully open about my brand, everything. I like literally with ChatGPT, like, so that's also when you ask someone a question, make sure you ask the question and make it as easy as possible to read, you know, because a lot of people, they are writing a whole book with even spelling mistakes in there, you know, and if you're expecting from someone better than you to help you, man, spend time to like properly make it easily like readable and everything. So I took time, like wrote down bullet points, used ChatGPT to make it more efficient, and then just put this message in the group like, guys, please help me, because there are some people in the group who already were doing numbers. And then one guy, he responded like, hey, man, I think your product is way too expensive, man. It should go lower, because I was selling like 3 products for like 80 euros. And then I thought, honestly, yeah, that's right, because I started lower, but then eventually I thought, okay, my CPA, so how much I spend to acquire a customer, is too high, so I need to increase my price so I can make more money. But then the CPA will increase even more, you know, it was not working. So then I thought, okay, what can be like the lowest price ever that I can sell the 3 products for? I thought 50, well, now we're selling even lower, but I thought, okay, 50 euros is really the lowest ever. That doesn't even make sense to sell. So then I can at least like exclude the possibility of price being the problem. So until then, I already was trying for a year, marketing experience. I learned really how to do media buying. I learned how to make ads. I learned how to make a good website. I had good ads live. And then I just lowered the price from 8 to 15 euros, and I saw good results instantly. So that's like a small thing like that can really just change your results overnight, just because someone with experience told me, change this, because he knew much more than me. He told me, I switched it, instant good results. So since then, we just sold out straight away, had to get more stock, sold out again, had to get more stock, sold out again. And then it was, then like 4 or 5 months later was also when I came up to you, man, Lucas, let's do this together, you know, like I was doing this alone with my mother, but I really wanted to, like, because for like 3 years, we weren't really like doing business again anymore since like our last meme accounts. And we were both like, man, it was so fun always. Let's just get this together again. So I told you, man, do you want to hop on this ride together, you know? Like I got something which is working like, well, like right now, at least on a low scale, you know, like because we're doing then maybe like 30K a month. At that time, after a couple months, because we just didn't have stock to even do more. And and that's kind of when I got you into it, you know? Like, how do you remember that? Like when I was asking you, like, hey, let's get this stuff done together.
Yeah, man. Like for that, we will have to go a long way back. But at that time, I remember I was doing, you know, my own thing. I was also growing a business, online fitness coaching. I was making like 500 euros a month. You said, man, you're doing so well. If you keep doing this, in a year, you're gonna make like 3K a month. But if you're gonna work on Eve Girls together with me, in a year, you're gonna be making like 30K a month. What do you say? Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. And then I immediately stopped everything I was doing. I was also, you know...
You were grind phase as well. Like you were, your fitness coaching, which you were trying to get off the ground, was also crazy grind phase, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, 100%. You know, first, you know, before we go to me, how did you experience that time during your university when you are trying to, you know, make this business work well? A lot of people around you were probably not growing a business like you were, and with all those big dreams.
Yeah, well, honestly, this is a thing which a lot of entrepreneurs often talk about. Like, hey, that it's tough with like the surroundings, people around you not doing that. But honestly, for me, maybe I am an exception in that. But for me, it was not really a problem, honestly, because. Because I think because of social media, like I was watching like stuff about business every single day. Like that's also what I was literally like really comparing myself towards. Like what I was seeing online, that showed me that's possible. Like I didn't, like it's not like I was around and everyone around me was like running businesses, making money online, but but I was getting so much inspiration from like what I saw online, what's possible. So yeah, honestly, for me, it was that it was not really tough. Honestly, like especially like the grind here, I was just going, just trying, getting things done, and grinding, and yeah, man. Honestly, for me, it was I wouldn't really say it was that difficult. Like it was maybe sometimes a bit frustrating though because. Um, if you, so a lot of people just don't really understand what you're doing, and then it's just tough for people to relate with you. So then because also sometimes you want to talk about things you're doing, right? But then it also feels a bit weird to talk about it because people also don't really understand, and then they don't know how to, like, I don't judge them for that, it's just normal, but then they also don't know how to respond. So that maybe sometimes which could be a bit annoying if you have really no one around you who does anything similar that you are doing, because then you sometimes you just want to talk about things, and it's tough if people don't understand. But besides that, honestly, it was not really that big a problem. I was just really, as I said, my inspiration and everything I was always getting from stuff I was seeing online. So I think that's also why I also appreciate people that really were showing things online so much. Like that was my whole inspiration from since I was a little child, basically.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, for me, it was really difficult. I had a very big lonely phase. When I was like, I would say a huge chunk of my childhood, I was really lonely. I had a very long period where I didn't really feel like I had really, actual friends.
Yeah.
I was always in a group where I was just, I was there.
Yeah.
I wasn't really part of the group. They even they went on a holiday and they didn't even ask if I wanted to come. Then they had made a group chat with all the people that came on the holiday, and we all hang out together. I was the only one that didn't come on the holiday, and then they always arranged like things to meet up and hang out and stuff in their group chat, and I wasn't even in that group chat. Someone just always asked me, "Yo, you want to come too? We're hanging out."
Yeah.
So I was a year just chilling with them, not even in the group chat, So at the time, I just didn't want to be alone. So I thought maybe it's better to be around people than just be lonely in my room all day. And I was also smoking a lot of weed at that time. All those friends, they were smoking weed. It also kind of got me, into it.
So which age was this? When was this?
I think I was around 16. And the phrase "you're the average of the people you're surrounded with" is so true for me. I was just rolling into what everyone was doing around me, and I wanted to impress everyone around me. And then I was trying to meet up to their expectations without really thinking for myself what I want. But yeah, that was really lonely. And also afterwards, when I went to university and I was grinding a lot, and everyone around me, all wanted to do was party and talk about nothing basically. At a certain moment, I was really going on my personal development journey, and I heard in a podcast that it was better to be alone than to be with people just to not be alone, because that's just a complete waste of time. Because in the time that you're alone, you can work on yourself instead of wasting time.
Yeah.
And I always had so much resistance to work on myself instead of just, I knew this person I could message to hang out with in the evening, to do nothing, and then afterwards I feel drained, but at least I wasn't alone. And then I thought, a lot of times I beat myself and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna message this person. I'm gonna be alone. I'm gonna do some yoga, or I'm going on a walk tonight, or I'm gonna work on my business. And the moments really made me believe in myself so much.
Yeah.
The relationship with myself became so good I didn't need applause from people around me anymore. I was my biggest fan. I could look myself in the mirror and I say, I love you. And I truly feel it, you know, and that was really beautiful. I think it's really important that your relationship with yourself is really good. You know, I always say, I really want everyone around me to be able to trust me.
Yeah.
It's really important for me. But I think, how can you trust someone if they can trust themselves? So that's why I have to trust myself first, otherwise people cannot trust me. So I can never, ever lie to myself. The relationship with myself is the most important one, because I'm the only one that's gonna be there, that was there when I was born, and it's gonna be there when I die.
Yeah.
I'm there in my best moments, in my worst moments. There's not a moment where I am not gonna be there. Everyone around me is never gonna be at all the moments as I am. I will be the one knowing that if I said I'm gonna do this thing and I didn't, I'm gonna be the one knowing that I said I'm not gonna do it. And you know, if I have a friend and he says, yo, let's go to the gym every day, and then he comes to your house and you say, I can't, I have a headache, and next day comes again and say, I forgot. You know, how's your relationship gonna be with your friend? You know, they're not gonna trust you anymore. Well, why would you trust yourself if you keep lying to yourself? I got really aware of that, and that gave me so much confidence. So it was really a blessing and a curse that I was so lonely, because that gave me my confidence that I can do stuff. I love myself, and from that place, I started, you know, grinding, getting results, and then I got introduced to so many other people with the same mindset. So I think for me it was, you know, I'm really grateful for that period, because if I always had, you know, good friends around me, you know, people I could always hang out with and relate to, I think the relationship with myself would be a lot worse as well.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it really forces you to become more comfortable being alone, and being comfortable with being just with yourself.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, you must have had something that was really driving you in that time when you said, hey man, I want to do a master's degree, but I need to do it with crazy results. But at the same time, I need to get my business from the ground, because if I look at all the people I was in university with, not everyone was thinking that. So why do you think you had that drive?
I don't know. I think always from the inside, like I had this drive that I want to do big things, that I want to do, that I want to be the best. You know, like I don't know where, but I feel like I kind of always had, I found it really tough. And even though with people that are around me, maybe not that I was surrounded with everyone really with this mindset, but I think also that's also my take on this. I'm not sure if you're really the average of the 5 people which you're surrounded with. Honestly, I think maybe it's better like framed in a way that you're maybe the average of the 5 people that you compare yourself with, and like you compare yourself. A lot of people compare themselves with people around them, but that's what I was saying. Like, I was getting inspired by so many people online and everything, and that's also why who I was comparing myself to, which really, which then made me also in kind of that person, you know, because it just showed me of, hey, what's possible. And I was always just thinking that I can do everything I want in life. That if someone can do this, why can I not do that? You know, like, if he can build this huge business, why should I not be able to do that? If he can become the president of this country, why can I not be that person? You know, like, I never really, I always really believed that I was always, able to do these things. Where does it really come from? I don't really know. I find it so tough to, I found it so tough to say, because, that's also for me one thing. Like, it's not how you hear a lot of people telling their story about saying, no one believed in me, this and that. Well, like, of course, probably for sure people might have had some doubts that how successful things would be. But yeah, I didn't really have that big of that childhood that everyone was saying to me I was going to be a failure or something. That's what a lot of people are saying right now online, for example. But for me, it wasn't always really like that. For me, it was kind of the opposite, as I said. School was always easier for me. So I didn't. People were always telling me, you're gonna become great, because I always had good grades and everything.
Yeah.
Or then also at a young age, I was also already doing these business things, so people were already saying things, and maybe that even gave me even drive, okay, everyone thinks I'm gonna do this, so I need to really make it happen then,
Yeah. But you also had, very successful friends as well. Like, your best friend was a football player. Mm-hmm. The other one was also drop shipping, making a lot of money with that.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
The other was playing hockey at a high level as well, right?
Yeah, that's true. And also right now, I'm still having friends from university as well, and also everyone is also, a lot of people are also doing great things. But it's not like everyone is like we are running an e-commerce business, but still a lot of people are doing great things in their own field as well. So also still, I've always been just kind of surrounded by people who are also trying to do good. But still, what I mean with not people, I was not really surrounded with people doing a lot of entrepreneurial, except like some select friends, yeah. But most of the people were never really entrepreneurial. But yeah, I said I really was getting my inspiration from just online. Like as I said, when I was 10 years old, I was Googling how to make money online and how to become rich,
Yeah, I think also a lot of your friends, you kind of go through the same development phase together, right? I think what a lot of people I see experience, and also me, that I want to, if you want to get to a new version of yourself, you need to completely break the old version of yourself and everything that comes with it to make place for a new version. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times that's also people that have the same habits and the same lifestyle that you maybe don't want anymore. But from every time I hear you say it, it's always like that you kind of have the same transition period with all your friends together.
Yeah, that's true. Like how first when I was a young student was lots of partying, and then out of nowhere I had to grind. When there was almost no partying anymore. And also all my friends as well. They also were like, okay, now they're gonna really focus more on their career, taking their study more serious, and also you just become older. Like you're not 19 anymore. You're now maybe 23 years old. Like it's already 4 years later. It's and that's still younger than you are still right now.
Yeah.
But that's already like that. But then a lot of, or some people still are, but also a lot of people already then, it's not the life anymore to party. You go out 4 times a week. So yeah. So that's also really a blessing. That's also why what I always liked so much, like when I was even in my grind phase, always with my friends from university, I was always just hanging out with them once a week, and they would just chill together, eating dinner together. Just it was just such a nice relaxation moment, just talking about life, watching some football. Just a really nice relaxing moment, and which I'm still also now still in contact with everyone. Like we'll probably go next year on like a quick trip as well. So yeah, very grateful as well to always have had these people around me. But yeah, you're right. Like we were really kind of transitioning from more focus on like partying and everything to less, like if you like stated this simple. But yeah, what I meant was just that I didn't always really have that most people were not like really like doing entrepreneurial stuff.
Yeah, exactly. When I remember I was looking at your friends and I was really thinking the environment you're in is really inspirational. Like for me, to become a professional football player, for example, it seems like an impossible task.
Yeah.
But if it's your friend that you just hang out with. I remember we were watching World Cup together in our house. I thought, what the hell, man? This is professional football players in my house.
Yeah.
Football with me. But for you, it's just normal. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I think those things unconsciously also show you that, you know, these people you see on TV and stuff
Are
just
normal.
normal people.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's why they showed me, you know, like everyone can achieve great things. Like people who are achieving great things, they're all normal human beings. Like even for some people who would already look at us right now, like I would say that I'm still not at all where I want to be. But if some people would even say already that, hey, we are so successful, so doing such crazy things, we're all just very normal human beings. You know, like it's not like we were, like we are special in any way. No, we are just all normal kids, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everyone I meet right now, you know, like when you talk with other, or when I meet some really successful people, you know, they're all joking. Everyone is human. Like even maybe the most successful person you see, he probably also snoozed his alarm once. You know, like he also argued with his girlfriend or with his wife, or he also had a bad day. He also was driving in the car, like just doing normal stuff. You know, like that's what I want to read. Yeah, that's what I really hope also my kids later would want to see as well, that they can do anything they want in their life. Like they don't have to achieve to become a huge entrepreneur. They can do anything they want. They want to work there or get this job or this, but at least that they understand that it's not like, oh, they are forced into this way and achieve and being like a big entrepreneur or a big celebrity or a football player is not for me, you know. Like I really want to hope that my kids as well would believe that they can do everything they want.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, so I think you're absolutely right with. You know, it's you're the average of the 5 people you compare yourself to. I think that's a huge part. You know, you compare yourself with someone that's not successful or someone that's successful. I think what played a huge part with you, even being able to believe that you can compare yourself with the successful people, is, you know, that you saw it from close by from a young age. Like, it's not that special actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. That's right.
Yeah, for me that was very. I put a lot of people on a pedestal, you know, when I was younger. I thought, I want to become a professional football player, but it's probably not for me. Like, what they do is I can't do that. I don't know, you know, very insecure. I see, you know, professional singers, rappers. I think, man, they're just so crazy, special. Why would I be able to do this? Like, look around me. I have no one that's doing that. Not from the right neighborhood, you know, whatever excuse you can say, you know. But then I started kickboxing, and I went to the Bonjasky Academy with Rein Bonjasky, 3-time world champion. I saw crazy fights. He won from Badahari twice, and then I went to the training there, and he was teaching. And I was like, oh my God, this is the guy, you know, he's just there teaching me. And I remember the first training, he took me apart and he did some hit the pads with me. I was 13 at the time, and he asked, hey, did you do this more often? I said, no, I didn't. He said, man, next week is an exam. You're gonna do the exam next week. I was like, holy shit, he sees something in me. This guy that's the crazy superstar, knocking out everyone, heavyweight. He thinks I have talent. Man, that really was a revolutionary moment in my life, that I saw this crazy figure sees this potential in me. Because before that, I was doing football for 8 years.
Yeah.
And I wanted to become a professional football player. I got kicked out of the first team. I was just playing with people that didn't really wanted to do anything, just making jokes, and then the fun was gone for me. I was also being quite bullied by people because, they always said I was really chubby. I was never fat, you know. I just had a little bit of chubbiness, but I was never like overweight.
Yeah.
But when I went to like friends from football at a sleepover, I was always the one that they were picking on. It was just the whole evening was just about that Lucas is fat, and then you know, I thought I have to now stop them. So I thought, okay, then I got mad. I want to hit them, but then I get in trouble. I didn't know what to do with myself. So then I just had this kind of anger attack, you know, where you're just standing and you're like,
Steam out of your ears.
steam out of my ears.
Yeah.
You know, crying, and then they make even more fun of you. And then I remember every single time I felt so horrible after a night like that, but I didn't want to be alone. So then the next time they invite me, I think, yeah, maybe this time will be different. And then I go again, and then it's the same story. And I remember I was watching the movie Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. It was my favorite movie because he was also, you know, being picked on by other kids. Mm-hmm. And then he went to Mr. Han, and then he did all the training with Kung Fu. And I remember he made a whole mindset transition. And all of a sudden, he went to this tournament and he was beating up everyone. He was beating up Chen at tournament at the end. I watched it so many times. And that really inspired me. I thought, I want to be Jaden Smith, man. I want to be Dre. I want to be Dre.
Yeah.
So I went to Kung Fu. At 13 years old, I thought I need to be like him. I'm going to Kung Fu. And then my mom supported me immediately. Next day, we went to a training, Kung Fu. And then I did that for a couple months. But then I realized, man, it's just not fighting. It's not what I saw on TV. Yeah. It was more just, you know, doing fancy movements. But
Yoga, kind of.
Nah, it wasn't like yoga. It was more like you had to learn a whole sequence in the air, saying all Chinese words. But you're not really fighting, you know. You need to be there for like at least 2 years before you go to the next group, because there's only exams every 6 months. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, so my mom said that's really where I learned my discipline, because she said that we always went into like a circle, and then at the end of the training, we talked about habits and stuff. And I had to put a note on my bed saying I'm always going to clean my room. And then I did that, and then my room was always clean. So my mom thought, oh, you can go to Kung Fu more often.
Exactly, yeah.
So then after 3 months, I thought this is not it. And I remember a guy at my primary school, he had put a presentation about kickboxing. He was also from the Boyarsky Academy. So I thought, you know what, let me just try that. And then what happened, what I said, he saw this potential in me. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, man, maybe I can do it. And then I thought, man, if I get to the fighters group, then I am really a bad motherfucker, you know. That's where all the fighters are. So usually it takes a couple years to get into that fighters group. But I went in 6 months, I already got introduced to the fighters group. And I remember, man, I made it, you know. I'm in the Champions League now. I was 14 years old at the time. I was training like crazy just because Raymond Boyarsky saw something in me. And then I remember I was, doing sparring and shit. And we had to be in the push-up stance. And people, you know, the trainer was not looking. And people were going on their knees. And I was still on my toes, and I was thinking in my head, oh, it's so difficult, I can't do it anymore, but the trainer is gonna be mad if I'm not gonna do it, keep going. And then I see everyone around me on their knees, and then the trainer looks again, and then they go on their toes again. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, hey, the difference between me and these guys, it's not necessarily that I'm so talented, it's I just continue where other people will quit. And it's also what comes back to what happened with the meme account, all the people quit, I continue. I have the same voice in my head as all the other people. I just do it anyways. I ignore the voice, mm-hmm. I silence it, It's not like I'm this crazy human being that has no feelings and that, and doesn't have fears. I have fears like everyone, and I feel them very much, but it's a choice to listen to them or not. And then I was 15, I already went to the adult fighter group, where I actually had to be 16 for that. I did one-on-one trainings with Raymond Bonjasky. My confidence was through the roof. I looked all his YouTube videos from his fights. In my head, I couldn't lose. I thought, man, because he won almost all of his fights, so I just imagined myself being in this stage, everyone screaming my name, beating up everyone. It wasn't even a scenario in my head that I could lose, but I still, fighting, super scary. So I remember I had my first fight after a year and a half of doing the training, and then I was just scared for like 3 months before the fight. It wasn't just nervousness. I was scared to shit.
How old were you then?
I was 14, or I think I was 14 or 15. Yeah, I was 14 in my first fight. And I remember also then, that gave me so much confidence that I could fight. I remember I was 52 kilos and 1 meter 46. And then for my fight, I already grew. I was 1 meter 52 and I was 46 kilos. So I gained 6 centimeters, but I also lost 6 kilos. So all of that chubbiness that I had, that people were picking on me, I thought, I have to do something about this, man. I don't want to be picked on anymore. And I don't want people to be able to mess with me. So I need to be able to defend myself. So after that, my confidence was through the roof and no one was picking on me anymore. I never experienced anyone, talking shit about me, nothing. Because they knew they couldn't mess with me because they would get beat the fuck up. So then I remember I had my first fight, and every time I saw a date after the fight, I thought, oh, I wish it was that date, man, because then I had my fight already. Yeah. I was genuinely scared. I couldn't sleep. And then I also, I remember I came at that fight. I was so nervous, scared, and I thought, okay, but let me just get it over and done with. My opponent was 7 kilos too heavy. So then the fight was not a real fight, but a demonstration fight. So it was only 2 rounds and there was no winner. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Now I'm here and then this happens. But then I did the fight anyways. I got some experience. So there was no winner. But then I thought, let me just do the next one. I already felt like, okay, it wasn't that bad. I made it bigger in my head than it actually was. That's with most things in life. Before you make it bigger than the actual bad case scenario. And then I had my next fight. I remember you came as well. And I think I was 15 then. And then I also had to lose because you need to make a weight. I needed to lose 3 kilos in 2 days because I was still too heavy. So I was going in the bathtub in the middle of the summer with crazy heat to sweat, and then I was training with a hoodie on with 30 degrees. I was sleeping with a bathrobe, gloves, a hat. Oh, it was so horrible, but I made my weight. And then I came and I remember Raymond Bonjasky told me, hey man, I just saw your opponent and he was crying and he was laughing. And I was like, oh really? And I was like, oh shit. So it's not just me that's scared and nervous. My opponent is just as nervous as me.
Yeah, exactly.
And that made me feel so much better. It's like, oh, I'm not crazy. I'm not a pussy. This is just what everyone feels. It's about how do you deal with that feeling. But that gave me so much confidence. And then in the fight, my trainer said, just go full on at him because he's scared of you, and just completely destroy him. And I won that fight in 34 seconds because he started crying again during the fight. So, but I also, because I was only allowed to hit on the body because I was I was 15, and only when you were 18 you were able to go on the head. And then I hit him twice in the head already in that time because I was just too fanatic. And I got a final warning from the referee. He said, if you hit him once again, the fight is over.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden the referee stops the fight. So I thought, what? I didn't hit him. So I went into the corner and Amy told me, yeah, you lost, man. I was like, what? What do you mean? And he said, nah, I'm joking. So he was just crying. So this referee stopped the fight.
Yeah.
And I remember then I felt invincible, man. The 2 fights after that, I also won. Another one also won TKO. I hit him toward in the legs. He couldn't continue anymore. I thought I was invincible. I couldn't lose. And remember, then I had another fight. It was in my own gym. And then in the first round at the end, this guy did a crazy spinning back kick in my liver, and then I fell to the ground, and I had the worst feeling I've ever experienced in my life. It was in the break, and I just collapsed in the corner. You can even see this fight still on YouTube. And then my Remy Mojeski picked me up. He said, "You don't have pain! You don't have pain! Open your eyes!" And my eyes were like this. And then I fell on the ground again. He picked me up again. He said, "You don't feel pain!" But it didn't work. The referee came, he just stopped the fight. I remember I was laying down thinking, why am I doing this? This is not even fun. I have the worst feeling I have ever experienced. And then I had to walk of shame out of the ring, and I really got humbled, you know. And then I was so obsessed. I studied that footage for so long. And then I lost another fight, and I lost another fight. And then I was like, man, what's happening? And then I was so locked in at the time. That was also at the time when I was doing the meme accounts at the same time. I was still in high school, and that's really when my lonely period started, because I wanted to become a professional kickboxer, and I had to train like crazy. The trainings I have had is the most insane training you can imagine. Like I was going to war, to Afghanistan or something, you know. And that's really where I've also found my confidence, because every time you think I can't anymore, I'm done. And then Remy says, another round. You think I already couldn't do it, but yeah, you can't say no. Okay, let me do it anyways. He says, last round, you give everything you have. And then he says, extra round. And you think, man, what the hell? And then you already thought you gave everything, but you give really everything now. And then he says, okay, extra round. And then you hate him so much, but you do it anyways.
Yeah.
And then you did like 3 more rounds when you thought you were already completely finished and you gave everything. And every single training was like that for years. And that's really what I learned. You can do so much more than you think you can. You know, your mind is the biggest enemy, because you limit yourself by just saying, I can't do this, so you don't do it. And you don't push further. Or you can, when you think you're tired, you're just at 30%. You know, that's what I always told. I don't know if that's scientific, but when you believe that, you can do so much more. And it works. So then I started doing it at a really high level, and COVID came, so there was no fights anymore. Then I could start fighting on the head. I was in a training camp with a Glory fighter as well. I was a sparring partner. Craziest trainings I have had in my life. But then I went to study in Groningen University, and because like I said, my dream was also to become a pilot. And what really hurt me at the time is flight school was like 120K to get in there, and there was no way of like a payment plan. Like you could take a loan for to get into flight school. Your parents just needed to be able to afford it, otherwise you couldn't get in. And I knew my parents couldn't afford it, but I was still going with my mom to all of these open days, just because maybe there would be a possibility in the future. But I already knew like how in the hell is this gonna work? So that's also was a big motivation for me to make this money with this meme accounts. Was I need to make 100K, before I'm 18, so I can get into flight school. That was literally my motivation.
Yeah.
And I remember then I made this 10K, and I was like, holy shit, I can actually make it happen. I have 2 more years. And then I told you and our dad at the barbecue, like, I want to pay for my flight school. I need to make 100K. And you guys were looking at me like, bro, would I make 100K before you're 18? And
I don't even remember this.
You said, man, if you make 100K by that time with something else, maybe you should think about a career switch.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad, he was like, really trying to protect me, because I was still a kid, and all I was thinking about was making money and grinding. But he also wanted me to have a bit of a childhood, so he was, trying to, slow me down a little bit, saying, hey man, it's not all about money, you know. You also, you don't forget to hang out with your friends and stuff like that. And then, you know, my drive also got a bit less to make money. And then I was really focused more on the kickboxing. And then also, you know, didn't make a lot of money anymore for like 2 years. All of that stuff stopped. And yeah, then I wanted to get into flight school. There was just no possibility. Didn't have the money. And that was so painful. And that's something I don't want to have for my kids. You know, I want my kids to be able, if they have a dream, that they have all the resources that they need to be able to achieve that dream. You know, they're going to do all the work, but it cannot be that there's just a factor that they can't control, that they can't achieve their dreams. So that's a really big drive for me as well. You know, I'm becoming a dad in like a month and a half, so that's why I also feel a lot of urgency. I made that deadline for myself. You know, I'm not a victim of my situation. I decided to become a dad, even though at the time when I started, you know, trying to get a baby, I wasn't in a financial position and the house position, anything that I wanted before I got a child. But I thought, you know, I don't need it now. I need it when my child is born. And then even when my child is born, it's still a couple of years before he can actually talk to me. So I still have a lot of time. Let me put a deadline on there so that by that time I need to get my shit together. And that drives me so much, you know, just putting that deadline up there. But yeah, then I thought, okay, let me at least go to university. I didn't like university, but I just thought, let me just do that because I mean, better than doing nothing, right? And then in that time, I can see if I can maybe get into flight school somehow. So it was very, very tough that period. Then I was just, you know, smoking weed, going out, partying, drinking for like 3 months straight when I went to university. I was going to a club.
7 days a week.
Like 5 days a week. Yeah, 5 days a week. But I thought I was doing it not that much because those people going 7 days a week. Yeah. And then I thought, let me knock it down to 3 times, you know, keep it okay, you know, because that's you. I just compared myself to the people around me. I was living in such a bubble. I was, you know, feeling sick every day. I thought there was something wrong with my body. I thought, how can I be a pilot if I feel sick every day? How can I become a kickboxer and then I feel like I have to throw up? And I genuinely thought there was something wrong with my body.
And you whilst going out 5 times a week.
Exactly. So then I remember I told you that, and it was very difficult. It was the longest 3 months of my life. Because how can I function in life anymore?
You were afraid to go into the train.
Yeah, I was afraid to go in the train because I thought I'm gonna throw up on everyone. And and I never did, but it's just a fear. That's the biggest fear I have battled, throwing up in public. And, you know, it was really impacting my life so much. And I was listening to a podcast every day called The Mindset Mentor. And he told me, you need to write down the worst case scenario that can happen, because usually the worst case scenario is not as bad as you think it is. So I really wrote down, what's the worst case scenario if I'm going to throw up in a train, for example? And it was basically, I'm going to throw up, it's going to be dirty, people around me are going to feel bad for me. They're like, oh, this boy is sick, oh no. And I was like, okay, well, that's not even that bad. And just doing that helped me so much, you know, putting that into perspective. And then I told you, hey, yo, man, I'm feeling so sick. And it's definitely not the alcohol, because I didn't drink for 3 days. And you said, bro, 3 days? Wow. That really put it in perspective for me as well. It's like, oh yeah, crazy actually. 3 days feels like a long time. Yeah. And then I started drinking way less, and all my problems were solved.
The easy solution.
Yes. Yeah, man. But when I look back, you know, when I reflect, I think I was also drinking a lot and going out because my life was just unbearable at the time. Because studying was so extremely boring, and it needed so much, you know, focus and effort to be able to make it work. Because I didn't have the same experience as you that, you know, school was just easy. You know, I did so much studying and I just got by, you know. So it was so much effort for me to get through that. So I thought, at least I have a student life, because that's what everyone tells you, that's what you need. You cannot miss out on your student life.
Yeah.
And then I just went partying, just because then I didn't have to think about the actual situation I was in and what I had to do every day. I could just distract myself, just escape reality a little bit. And then I thought, okay, at least let me do something with flying. Maybe there will be a new opportunity. So then we did gliding, which is basically flying without an engine, because you are able to do that as a young kid. So my parents supported me with half of the money, and then all the money I made with the meme accounts, I also invested into doing the gliding, and I also had a student loan, but most of the money I already spent on partying. All of the savings I made, I spent it in the club. And then at the gliding, those guys going also to KLM. Your network really is so important in life. Because there, I got in touch with people that were already doing there, and they said they have a new rule now, and basically KLM will fund your whole education, and then you have to pay it back with your salary in the future. So I don't need to pay anything up front. It's like, oh my God, this is my opportunity. So then I did the selection process, but I'm so bad at math. And you need to do a lot of, math from your head. And I thought, this is not an excuse. I'm gonna practice every single day for months, doing the simple math equations from my head. Still, I was so bad. And then I passed every single part. It was like on a scale from 1 to 7, but math I had a 2, but all the other things I had like a 7. So then I failed the selection process, and you could only do another selection process if you finish your bachelor's degree. So then I thought, okay, well, I guess I have to finish my bachelor's degree now, otherwise I can't become a pilot. So then I was just studying purely in my head, becoming a pilot. So I was doing exam, I was doing human movement sciences, learning about all the different layers from your brain and all the blood veins you have in your brain and your body, and memorize all that shit, which I'm never gonna use in my life. It just felt pointless, and it took so much effort. But I remember I was, in the library thinking, what the hell am I doing, man? It's raining outside. I'm studying here for this thing I don't like, but I know I'm not a victim. I have to do this to get to my goal to become a pilot. I cannot possibly become a pilot without doing this exam right now about neuroanatomy. So I'm so grateful that I can do this. And I saw a reel on Instagram, and this guy said, when you just put a big smile on your face, you make these hormones in your body that you feel nice. So if you don't feel good, just put a smile on your face. And then I thought, you're right. And then I saw another reel as well from Kobe Bryant saying, when you are on the path to where you want to go, you made it. Don't wait for feeling like you made it until you're at some sort of destination, because there's always going to be another goal. If you're on the path right now, grinding, you made it. And I was like, man, that's so true. So I went into the library. I put a big smile on my face, and I told myself in my head, I made it, man. And I truly felt the feelings as well. I didn't allow myself to think, no, but I'm not there yet. No, I said, I made it. And I paused. And then I went and I did that thing, and I was like, wow, man, I'm so grateful to do this. I'm grinding. And then I felt like so much joy in that moment of just grinding and going towards my goals. And that's where I got my satisfaction from. And that's really what got me through it. And that's also what keeps you sane. And that's also so true, because even now I already made it, but I still feel like I want to get more. And if I always will think, oh, when I have that, then I'll be happy, you will never be happy. So that was really a big thing for me. And then I needed to do a medical for the gliding. And then the doctor asked me, hey, do you use any drugs? And I was smoking quite some weed. So I thought, man, I cannot lie at these things, because if you ever get caught with lying, then you will never be able to become a pilot. So I thought, okay, I have to say it. So I said, yeah, I smoke some weed sometimes. And he said, oh, no problem. You're a student, I get it. But all we have to do is just schedule an appointment with a psychiatrist, and then if he says you're not addicted, it's no problem. So I thought, okay, cool. So 3 weeks later, I didn't smoke any weed, but I was still drinking a lot, partying. And then 3 days before the appointment, I still went out. I had a crazy amount of alcohol in my system. So then, we talked about it. I had a whole story. I just smoked once in my life. And then he said, okay, no problem. And how about drinking? I was like, oh shit, I didn't know it was gonna be a lot of drinking. I'm a student. I thought it's normal. So I said, yeah, sometimes I go out, maybe 3 times a week I drink, and then I had to say how many glasses, and I kind of knocked it down. It was actually more like 20 glasses a week, but with the calculation I made, it was more like 10. He said, okay, it's still a bit on the high side because the guideline is 7 glasses a week, and they don't really look at if you're a student or not. Of course, I understand, you're a student, but the guideline doesn't really look at that. So, what we're gonna do is just do a blood test, and if that's fine, it's fine. So I just thought, oh my God, I saw my whole career flashing in front of my eyes. I just went out 3 days ago. So then I passed the weed test, but I had way too high alcohol values in my blood. So then I had to do a retest 3 months later. And then I thought, okay, well, I can't drink now for 3 months. Everyone I hang out around with drinks. All we do is drink. So what am I gonna do then? So I knew that there was this one guy in my university, and he was doing online coaching for powerlifting. And I thought, hey man, if he's also nice, he doesn't drink, why don't I just ask if he wants to eat with me tonight? So I invited him for dinner, and then he told me about what he was doing. He was making 2K a month as a powerlifting coach online. And I was 18 at the time, and I saw, oh shit. I thought, if I can't become a pilot, I'll definitely do something for myself. So then, maybe I can, why would I wait after my studies? Why don't I can already do it now. He was making 2K a month. So immediately I started doing, because I thought, okay, I'm really good at kickboxing, but I can't really give online kickboxing coaching. Maybe fitness. I never did fitness before. But I'm doing human movement sciences. I can kind of combine it if I have the degree. So I paid him 60 euros a month as my coach to teach me how to grow this business.
Yeah.
Every week we went to a cafe with my notebook, and he told me what to do. I made a TikTok every single day for a year and a half. Some days I even made 6 TikToks a day. Because my brother was also my business coach, just like always back in the day. Yeah. I asked him, can I, what if I post more? Maybe I can get more views. He said, well, just do it for a month then. Just 6 times a week post, and then you can see. And then I actually did it. I just execute. That's what I learned with kickboxing, just discipline. Raymond Boyaski never calls you and asks, hey, why weren't you at the training? He just lets you go to the fight, and you don't have any stamina, and you get destroyed. You need to take responsibility to go to the training, because if you are not training, your opponent is training, and you're going to get absolutely beat up. There's no better motivation than that. You don't want to get beat up. So I just used that discipline I learned at kickboxing, and with all the businesses I had before with you to, really develop that. And it wasn't really working. I was posting every day. I started getting some views, some videos had 100K, 200K views, and I'm getting some followers. And then I thought, okay, I need to make a website, and then people can apply for my online fitness coaching. And I get a lot of visitors on my website, but no one was applying. So I thought, man, what the hell? And I literally charged 60 euros a month, and no one was even showing up to the calls. But yeah. I just kept believing, and then I was so lonely. I wasn't drinking with these people anymore, and I wasn't smoking weed anymore. I used to smoke a lot of weed in my life, but I stopped that as well, just from one day to the other. I was doing yoga, and I always, had a rule for myself. If I smoke weed, I need to have exercise that day, so that it cannot impact my exercise. And I always did all my stuff, went to university, was growing my business. So I always thought, I can just smoke. I was a functional smoker. And then at a certain moment I was doing yoga and I started crying. And I thought, man, this is something I cannot ignore. I grabbed out my notebook, I started writing down, why am I crying? And I started getting to the source. And I knew I was smoking weed, but I knew it wasn't necessarily serving me, and then just the fact that it's not necessarily holding me back, it's not a reason to do it. Doesn't mean it's bringing me up. And then I just wrote myself a letter, a goodbye letter. I said, because I genuinely had a lot of nice moments, just like you also said you were partying a lot, but it had a lot of fun moments from it as well. It made me feel free, like, oh, I can just do whatever I want, no one can tell me anything. And I also made a lot of connections at the time with that, but it wasn't serving me anymore. So I just wrote a letter saying goodbye, and that was it. I already had an appointment that same evening to go smoke with some people. I pulled up, I said, guys, I quit. And they were like, oh, well, whatever, man, whatever. Mm-hmm. I told all my friends, yo, I quit. And then every single person I used to smoke with never asked if I wanted to hang out with it again. And then a realization came, man, people, literally, I was first afraid to stop because I thought I'm not going to hang out with people anymore. But then I thought, why can't I not just hang out with them and not smoke? But then these people didn't ask to hang out with me anymore. It's like, oh, okay. So I also didn't necessarily feel like I want to hang out with you sober as well. And there was a lot of people I was drinking with. I was thinking, would I hang out with this person sober? No. So that's the definition of wasting time. Mm-hmm. I cannot be sober around you. That's the saddest thing in the world. So then I just cut out all of these people. I was just by myself in my room in Groningen. I just got a girlfriend from the UK and we had a long distance relationship. I didn't have money. I was making like 300 euros a month. I stopped my student loan, then I did some tutoring on the side for kids in high school. I was driving cars around. If someone got a lease car, I drove it to your house and make some money, like 10 euros an hour, just so that I can make my business work. Because I was listening to this podcast and I saw this guy saying he got his one viral video and he was making 10K a month. I thought, why can I not do that? I had so much confidence from all the kickboxing and stuff, but it was really lonely. And that was the time I was talking about when I thought, yeah, am I gonna be by myself tonight, being lonely, or hang out with this person that doesn't necessarily, charge me up? People are either a battery or a vacuum, Sometimes you hang out with someone and you feel more energized afterwards. Or you hang out with someone and you feel even more drained than you were before afterwards. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were vacuums that I was hanging around with. And then every single time, I beat myself and I did yoga or I was working on my business. And that was a long period, like 2 years of that, by myself in my room. Very lonely moments. I had a long distance relationship. I remember it was like around Christmas. I wanted to see my girlfriend and I checked the flights. It was 300 euros. And I thought, that's not worth it, man. I don't have enough money in my bank account to just go spending 300 euros on this flight right now. So then the alternative is not seeing my girlfriend and missing her. And I thought, this can't be my reality, man. I want to see my girlfriend whenever the fuck I want, regardless of the money. That's real freedom to me. And then I wanted to visit her. I had the money, but I had to do this practical exam. And if I didn't do that, then I couldn't go to the real exam, even though I didn't need it to finish my exam properly because I knew how to study for it. It's just the rules. I thought, what is this, man? This makes no sense. So I needed to be location independent and financially independent. And then I started doing Herbalife as well, like a multi-level marketing scheme. And I thought, okay, with this, that was also a very difficult period for me because a lot of people around me, they heard very bad things about Herbalife, trying to talk me out of it. But I knew it made sense. And I was talking to you, and you also say, yeah, no, actually, it makes sense. You can provide more value with giving products with your coaching service instead of only giving coaching service. And I thought, yeah, exactly, Mm-hmm. But everyone I tried to explain this to, they just didn't understand and they didn't see it because all they see is a documentary saying this is a scam. But it's a scam because people do it that are not disciplined, and then they just say it doesn't work, like with anything. People buy drop shipping courses from people saying this guy's a scammer. No, you just didn't do the things he told you to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was also a very difficult period, you know. My mom was trying to talk me out of it. My girlfriend was trying to talk me out of it. But I had this vision, and I had to cut out all of that noise and do it anyways, you know, even though the people I loved the most, you know, didn't believe in what I was doing. But I did it anyways. And at that time, I was making like 500 euros a month, and I thought I need to make 1,500 euros a month by the time I finished studying. I had like 6 months left, and because I calculated then I can, you know, live in Spain or wherever and, you know, be location independent. And then at that time you came to me, we were calling, and you said, hey man, let's do this together. And I thought, let's fucking go, man. I quit all the stuff I was doing with the fitness coach, and it was a way bigger opportunity. I could do it with my brother again. I was always thinking, what can I do again with my brother? And this was the perfect moment to do that. And I was just starting to write my thesis. You also were writing your thesis at the time.
Exactly.
And it was really just full-time Eve girls and a little bit of thesis on the side with ChatGPT.
Yeah, man, that was amazing. I remember, like, it first started out with, because you had, like, we did a dropshipping store, but besides that, you really didn't have any, like, e-commerce experience or something. Like I already was trying things, learned a lot. It was first me just teaching you things, you know, how to make ads, how do you run ads, like teaching you all the basic marketing things. And then, man, you just understood it straight away, and because I realized, man, I cannot do this alone as well. I want to do something with you, and also I need help. Like, I cannot do, if I want to grow, you need to be with a team, you know? And I thought, okay, it can be, so like with you as well, the two of us, we could do not 2 times as much, but literally 10 times as much. So it first started with me, you helping me kind of with marketing, writing scripts, coming up with ads. I really had this vision, okay, I can probably, I thought, okay, I was seeing as well how you can probably be very talented at doing marketing things. Like I was doing it before, like I understand it as well, but I thought, okay, I was seeing how you could be very talented in that. So I thought, okay, let's get this rolling, and then you can probably, as we progress, really own this. And I saw straight away, man, like in 2 weeks, I just teach you and you just took it up straight away. They just showed me, man, honestly, like it's not that difficult. Like I just teach you, and in 2 weeks, you run the entire thing yourself. That's kind of how it happened. So this was like in 2024.
Yeah,
like
March.
We started in March, and then eventually we still didn't have inventory. We were just on a trying, testing ads, and we were being very profitable, but on low volume, like 30K a month. And then it was June, right? Remember, like our stock would come like at the end of June, and we were just every month for like a couple months straight doing like 20, 30K a month because we didn't have stock. And I remember I told you, like, man, maybe we just need to do pre-orders, you know? Like maybe like our conversion rate will go down, but at least we will sell something, you know? Maybe it's not the best long term, but at least it might boost our like morale a bit more. So maybe just that boost will probably make sense long term. We do that, and it works. We increase the budget every single day. We hit this structure, like if we set a target which we want to hit, which we have a certain profitability level. If we hit it, we increase our budget. Well, now we did do 10, but then 20%. Every day, 20% more, 20% more. People think 20% is not that much. Well, calculate for yourself. If you increase your budget for 10 days straight for 20%, man, you increased your budget a lot. So first we did like 20K a month. Like a couple, like 2 weeks later, we did 10K in a day.
Yeah, bro.
Crazy.
Went from like 800 euros a day to 10K in 3 weeks.
Exactly, 3 weeks. And also profitable.
Yeah,
and
like
then we
2K
realized,
profit.
because we had like stock coming, and then we realized, man, if we keep doing like this, we won't have enough stock to even fulfill all these orders, you know, which is coming in. So they were like, oh shit, we have to lower our budget again, you know? And then again, we had to order even more because we just didn't realize we just didn't have experience as well. You know, we didn't have experience. We didn't have money. Like cash flow is also an important thing. It was not like we had tens of or hundreds of thousands of money to invest. No, like we were completely bootstrapped. Like we just had this slow growth. That's why it also took some time, because we just didn't have the money to let's just invest 100K into stock. No, it was, we first invested 2K, then 5K, then 10K, then 20K. Slow growth, and then every time it took a long 2-3 months for the stock to arrive. But we kept bootstrapping, building it up on top of each other, this exponential growth. So, and then that was like when we hit our first 10K day, we realized straight away, man, we can probably go much faster with getting guidance. Because already in March, I was planning to work with an agency, because I already thought by myself, okay, probably, like I was already interviewing multiple agencies. I was thinking, yes, probably like they can understand marketing better than me. I can go faster with them than me just figuring out everything myself. Eventually we quit it. We didn't start with them. We almost started, but we are like, man, we don't have stock right now. It doesn't make sense. Let's just wait a couple months. And then we realized, I don't think we need this agency. Now, after like these 4 or 5 months passed, we actually learned really good marketing. We made ads, we understood everything. I saw like the agency is probably not going to do a much better job than we do, because I was thinking, who is working at this agency? It's probably someone like, maybe even work, like probably if I would apply for the agency, they would be so happy to take us.
Well, you were talking about that we were wanted to do the agency in March.
Yeah, exactly. So but then we realized, okay, we don't have stock, it doesn't make sense. And in these months, we learned so much. Like we still kept running the business, still kept making more ads, getting you into it, teaching you. We progressed and we improved ourselves so much that once we were going live again, we realized, man, like probably they're not gonna do a better job than us. Like they would be so happy if we could work for them, probably. Like they would see us as a perfect hire. So that it doesn't make sense. But I still realized though, because so this was when we like started scaling, and I still realized the reason I didn't want to work with an agency just to have fun or something. The reason was because I knew that getting help from someone else who has done the thing can get me faster to my goal. So first, okay, agency, we already have the skills, they can really not bring us faster. But I thought, okay, let's invest in mentorship. So straight away, we joined this program from Davey Fogarty. It's called Daily Mentor. Like the requirement was that you need to do at least 100K a month. Like we just did our first 10K day. We didn't even do 100K lifetime revenue. And we begged them, please add us, like, we know like we will do 100K like in this month for sure. But like, and they had to talk about it. And then he saw our numbers, like, okay, yeah, guys, you can enter. So then we joined Daily Mentor, and since then, man, our business has really taken off to another level, right? Like
that's why we're here.
Exactly. Like that's why it was already like time ago. But man, we learned so much. We implemented everything, and also besides that, we just learned so many more new things. Our network got open. We got in touch with people like who doing similar stuff, and since then we started building our team, expanding, learning by doing. Really, because we always had this vision of just move fast, break things, and that's how you learn the fastest. So since how is it right now? Right, like we have a huge
huge team, over 20 people in the team.
Exactly.
We're not doing anything in the daily operation anymore. We have a crazy creative system, pumping out ads like it's nothing.
We have our own lab.
Basically. Yeah, we have our own lab, pumping out products like it's nothing. A chemist, supply chain manager, making sure we're never out of stock again. A crazy customer service team, because it's so important that you have a good customer service team. If people are not satisfied with their service, why do they come back? That's why we have such a valuable brand, because people love the product. Like we said in the beginning, we use it every day ourselves. We're so proud of it. And people keep coming back. And when you get a returning customer. You don't spend money on ads to get them. So that's why the profit is insane. You know, even though our revenue has not been skyrocketing anymore every month, our profits is increasing every single month.
That's the value of a brand. But also, what I notice as well right now, like if I look back of what we did like 1-2 years ago, we left so much money on the table, like because we just didn't, like with the experience we have right now, with everything what we have learned, with the team which we have built, like I'm starting to see like e-commerce is quite simple. It's just pushing some buttons in the right order, knowing where to push and where to hold back, but you need to know where, right? And like you can only learn in two ways. First, you learn, option number one is you learn yourself. 4 years, you fail, you succeed, fail, succeed, fail, you succeed, then you know. Or someone else tells you who has already done it and you know it in 1 second. That's the kind of twist. So we have done both. We've invested in mentorship, so we have learned lots of things instantly through that, which avoided a lot of mistakes. But also besides that, we also made a lot of mistakes along the road. So we've also learned a lot of stuff. So now looking back, man, it really shows like how we've really grown into like these true operators now, you know, like first don't really know what we're doing, just running some Facebook ads, making some creatives, editing the videos, and now really becoming leaders, understanding how to build teams, how to lead teams, how to really build an organization, and just really marketing strategy, right? It's not only about pushing some buttons in Meta, it's about really having a proper strategy over the year, like having a proper marketing calendar with different events and really strategizing about it. Okay, how can I improve my retention? Because it's, even though like, of course you can think, hey, we have returning customers because our product runs out. But it doesn't come by itself. It helps that you have this element, but you really need to have like a proper retention strategy as well, a proper acquisition strategy to truly grow. And that's what I really see. That's really what we have gone into right now, right? Like even also if we talk with other people, like other brand owners, we learn from them, but also some people we talk, like people we have coached already now as well. You know, we apply things we have learned to their business, and you see instant results. Like that's where it really shows you like the experience, how valuable it is, and how these small things which you change, how they can have a huge impact.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, my goal was August, make 1,500 euros a month. We did 150K in revenue in August.
Yeah.
You know, we went from 20K in May to 100K in June, and we had to scale back because no stock. 150K in July, had to scale back because of no stock. 150K in August, you know, not being able to scale because of no stock. 220K in September, 300K in October. Then it was in November, it was 340K or something, like 400K in December. Then went to 700K in January, really unlocked Germany there. And that's when we
really had a huge team, marketing department of maybe, I don't know, 15 people or something.
Yeah, we had more people then than we had now.
Yeah, now we scaled back.
We made everything so much more efficient. Mm-hmm. You know, we get very similar, output in the business with less people, and that's where like my brother said, you know, a lot of trial and error, but also we learned from the coaching, you know, how to especially do forecasting so we don't get out of stock anymore, but also have our cash. You know, my brother really taught me about cash flow, because I came from the online fitness coaching. You get 500 euros, you can spend 500 euros. And then I didn't understand that if you make 500 profit, you cannot spend 500 because you need to pay your team. This payment comes later, this earlier. Then you need to buy stock if you want to grow. So that's not the same as cash in your bank account. And if, you know, a lot of people that I talk to, you know, their P&L is triple wheel, you know, but we have a proper P&L because of my brother. All of the experience that he had from his university, YouTube videos, the coaching that we did.
Exactly.
That's why we really know our numbers and why we can make very comfortable, confident decisions. And we have a very safe, healthy business with a lot of cash.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's most important. I see a lot of brand owners making this mistake is not knowing numbers. And because you see some, like, of course, there are brand owners which have succeeded without knowing their numbers, but like they all had the same story. They just grow, like they just had very profitable ads for some reason that, you know, it was almost impossible to make a mistake. Or they almost went bankrupt. Or they did bankrupt and you never heard their story. What it is for most people probably, of not knowing just their stuff. Like I think it's really important that you need to be able just to say and see, last month I did this much profit. That month before I did this much profit. This day I did this much profit with these margins. I have this much cash in the bank. Like maybe like really cash flow forecasting, not that important in the beginning stage. Later on becomes very important. But like, at least if you cannot even say exactly how much profit you made last month, then you have a really big problem.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just put it in perspective for you guys. We did 1.9 million in revenue in 2024. Well, we were doing 20K a month until May, you know?
Yeah.
We did, in the last 3 months of the year, we made 1.1 million. And I remember we set this goal of 2 million that we wanted to do it the whole year. And we were like in October and we were thinking, man, we still need to do 1.2 million if we want to hit our goal.
Yeah.
This is impossible. Let's make it happen anyways. So we made a strategy, executed it, 1.2 million. Now 1.1 million basically made the goal. Now at this point it's October and our goal is actually to, you know, step away from revenue targets, focus on profit targets. Because that was also a bit of our downfall at a bit. We were really chasing revenue, spending a bit too much on ads. Then we get more revenue, but you have less profit. And everyone can show how big their dick is, but you can't really pay the bills, you know. And then we thought, you know, let's not do it for anyone else, but for us. Dial everything in, reduce the ad spend, more returning customers, we're really profitable, and now the profits are insane. In May, we did 120K in revenue in one day with like 53K in profit.
Insane numbers.
And now, we have such a good, everything is dialed in a very similar situation. We already did over 4 million this year in revenue. And our goal, you know, is to do a lot more profit than we already made this year. So we have, and it's not possible with the way we have everything set up. So we're really focused on the expansion internationally, you know, because you got to think bigger. Set these high targets, maybe you will not absolutely hit it. Because you think bigger, you're going to do different things than if you think smaller. I talked to so many people, they do 1 million a year in revenue, and their goal is to do 3 million next year. I don't even want to talk to you, to be honest, because I feel like your mind is just too small to be around me. Because like I said, I am very aggressive right now with who is around me because I know that it impacts me a lot. I want to be around people that say I did 1 million this year, next year I'm doing 10 million. Because they think in a completely different way. They stay uncomfortable. Because our downfall usually every month when we weren't growing was because we kept doing the same things and expecting different results because we were just comfortable. You need to be always uncomfortable. When you feel like you're getting comfortable, get uncomfortable again, because success is an uncomfortable procedure. That's why we're locked in right now in Dubai. You know, literally all we do here is just work. Someone asked, hey, you want to go to party tonight? No, we're locked in. Like, it's no time for jokes. And I get so much joy from that.
Man, I love it. I really love it, Ryan. Really love what we have already built so far, what we have achieved. So grateful for that. And yeah, man, like it's also what I really just love as well is just helping other people, seeing just like that, hey, you can, by just putting your knowledge into someone else's business, you just see instant results as well. It just shows you like you truly understand that we are like truly Ecom operators right now, you know?
I want to help everyone. And like I said, I really want to help everyone. Well, my best friend is working in Ecom right now. I'm teaching him as well how to do some drop shipping, make some money. Even though he's working for me, I want him to make even more money than me, you know? People we've coached, one guy, he did like 100K a month usually, and then he did that in a week after working with us with like 50K profit.
Insane, yeah.
Just because he implements the things that we know, and we do very different stuff than the rest, because you heard our growth exponential, guys. You know, we did 29K in 2023, 1.9 million in 2024. This year we're gonna do like 10 million. You know, it's you just gotta think bigger and execute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So, guys, we've been rambling a lot. I think we gotta wrap this up because the battery is not gonna do it.
I hope you guys can even see us right now in the dark.
Oh, you only see our teeth. Yeah. So yeah, you know, definitely check out my YouTube channel. We're gonna show a lot of value from what we're doing right now, because now we wanted to share the story of where we came from, so you can kind of understand our whole story. But what we really want to focus on is getting everyone to the same level as us. So watch all of our videos on my brother's YouTube channel, which will also be in the description. You can go way more deep into the details. He has very in-depth videos about creative strategy, email marketing, CRO.
Everything for free. It's literally what people charge thousands for. You can just watch it for free on my YouTube channel, man. Like, you really have no excuse. Just watch it. Like, that's what I'm just really there to share value, help you guys for free. Same with our school community, right? It's so valuable. We have a free one. We have literally 1/3. I don't know, even like $30 a month. Nothing. It is basically a course people charge 5K for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so detailed. It's not only about, hey, how to set up your ad account. We literally teach you how to build a team, we teach you the high level stuff.
How to build a real brand that scales like crazy, like us.
Yeah.
You know? Not how do you get from 1 million to 2 million, no, how do you get from 1 to 10. And also check out my Instagram. I post a lot of stories where you can just really, you know, get a look at my life and slide in my DM. Like I said, I love to help all of you. I want to see everyone next to me or above me. You know, I'm your biggest cheerleader. So hop in my DM if you have any questions about Ecom. I'm happy to help you and answer it, or just, you know, just check out my stories, whatever, man. Check everything in the description, and yeah, see you later.
See ya.